Land of power, land of might, exceptional rage, endless fights, patriot bulldozer, leading the way, crushing all foes, making them pay. Flag in hand, fury in eyes, screams of pride, ignoring lies, iron grip, ruthless and cold, American dream, fierce and bold, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save, bulldozers wrath, tearing apart, exceptionalism, fire in the heart, no retreat, no surrender, bulldozers force, a savage offender, red, white, blue, burning bright, in the chaos he finds delight, blazing trails of destruction left, in the name of the blessed of theft, freedom's price, a crimson blade, bulldozer, savage of legend made, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save, bulldozers wrath, tearing apart, exceptionalism, fire in the heart. Blazing trails of destruction left, in the name of the blessed of theft, freedom's price, a crimson blade, bulldozer, savage of flame, legend made, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save, bulldozers wrath, tearing apart, exceptionalism, fire in the heart.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you all have had a wonderful last 24 hours. Thank you so much for joining this episode of the Dozer Den, and thank you so much to Lord Sterling, Common Censored, for that raid. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for joining this episode, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button. Give it a good thumping. Beat the hell out of that like button. Caress the like button. Whisper sweet nothings into that like button's ear when you can lean in real close and give it all you got. It's very important to hit that like button, guys. Very, very important. What's up, Trader Todd, Lord Sterling, Ken Aiden, Cyrene Pickle? Good to see y'all. Hope you all are having a wonderful evening. It's been raining a bit here, so we didn't get to spend any time outside today, but still been a good evening. It's been a pretty good evening. It's cooler now, so got the windows open. You know, allergies will be messed up from that, but that's all right. But anyways, guys, Here's some really cool ways that you can help this channel grow. You can comment in the comment section. Commenting is caring. You can share this stream out with your loved ones, your friends, your family, your ex-girlfriends, boyfriends. These are Zem friends. I'm not judging, just as long as you leave the children and the animals out of it. Keep it consensual between adults and preferably behind closed doors, and I really don't care. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. You can repost here on Rumble. And when you do repost, you do have to say something in your repost. Now, I'm not saying you have to be nice. You could be a jerk. You could be nice. You could be neutral. Whatever you like. It does help the channel grow. You can, those are some free ways. Those are some free ways to support this channel. There are some ways that you can support the channel monetarily. You can subscribe to Bill Dozer 74 for a measly $5 a month, guys. Just a couple sodas. You can support over at the dozerden.locals.com. One of the cool things about the dozerden.locals.com is live chat over there is open. There's at least one live chat open all the time over there. And the only restrictions, no genitalia and no threats of ending people. That's about it. I think that's pretty reasonable. Just saying. Just saying. See, we have the co-host, Bobble Trump, right over here. One of the cool things that happens too, whenever you subscribe to this channel, Bulldozer74, you get access to a plethora of amazing, stupendous, wonderfous emotes like that. Absolutely fantastic. Whoosh, slap of the peach there from Cyrene Pickle. And your name will be lit up in the most beautiful shade of MAGA red. Some call it a rumble rash, and the only treatment for it is more America. That's right, y'all. That's right. Get that rumble rash. Spread it around. You can also gift subs here on Rumble now. Click that little red gift box, and that's a way that you can support. You can shower the chat with your love. You can spray the chat with your love. Whatever verb you want to use. I'm not judging, guys. I'm not. Oh, but we do have a show tonight. We do have a show tonight, y'all. It's going to be a good time. It certainly will. See, we're up to 7 likes. Not too bad. We can get it up there, though. Come on. Oh, and if you have not followed the channel yet, go ahead and smash that follow button. We are 118 away from that beautiful, fantastic goal of triple digits. 1,000. So close we can taste it. You amazing killdozers here in the Dozer Den, you can make it happen. We need to share this out to spread the word of the Dozer Den so that we may welcome more killdozers here into the Killdozer Army. Currently metaphorical. It's going to stay that way, y'all. Oh, man. But yes. Things have been happening, guys. Not going to lie, y'all. I am not going to lie. After Thursday, after seeing Kash Patel's comments about Epstein and saying that he believed that Epstein had killed himself, I was damn close. I was damn close to downing an entire metaphorical bottle of black pills. But after what happened over this weekend, I think I have gone ahead and put the lid back on that prescription strength bottle of black pills, and I've put it back in the cabinet for another day. Because holy crap, y'all. It's been a busy weekend. Mother's Day, to the side. And I do apologize for not streaming on my normal Saturday time slot. Usually I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Central. The Saturday streams are a lot more laid back, a lot more chill. We might have one topic that we discuss. And then for the most part, it's the Dozer Den, a DJ hour, where I take your music video requests. And we have ourselves a good time. You can jam out with your clam out or rock out with your cock out. Those are the only 2 options. And anybody that's intersex that watches the show, pick a lane. There are only 2 options. But Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, though, we usually cover 3 to 4 topics and then have a bit of a palate cleanser at the end. And I am in the Rumble Creator Program. So if you are so inclined to get premium, that little red button right there, if you do it when you're watching my content, that is something that they pay attention to with Rumble. So what's up, Cool Frog? Good to see you. What's up, Sam Duty? There are those cows in the chat. Guys, if you haven't followed Cool Frog yet, go ahead and give Cool Frog a follow. That's KOOLFROGG. One of the coolest frogs on Rumble. I forgot what your time slots are now, Cool Frog. You're all over the place, sir. Oh, man. Got that raid from Viva I saw the other day. That was pretty freaking cool. That's awesome, man. And we get raids every now and then here. We got the Common Censored raid, much appreciated. I am on X. We are creeping up. We might end up hitting 3,800 followers over there on X. Not really sure why people follow me on X, but if you want to check it out and see what the fuss is about, at Billdozer74 __, or I think you can search Dozer74 and you can probably find me that way as well. Dirt gently. I got booped. Now I'm here. Well, it was a good booping. Good indeed. God and family first. Yes, indeed, Sam Duty. That is correct. That is correct. Oh, man. We are going to do some fishing streams, damn it. I know I keep saying it, and it's been like a month since we got up there at the at the water, but it's going to happen. I think I might end up having to go in town for some content, for some outdoor content. I have a tripod, y'all. I have a legit tripod, ONN, from Walmart. But it gets the job done. It definitely does. Everyone gets the cows. Nice. Cows are good. 8 p.m. Mountain Time every night, like always have been, other than Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, which is my weekend. Okay, good deal. There you go. There's the schedule. There you go. I remember you used to go, you started really late. You used to start really late at night. And I'm a creature of the night. I gotta hop on one of your streams again. It's a fun time. It's a good time over there on Cool Frog streams, y'all. Oh, man. But yes, we do have some topics tonight, y'all. First topic of the night. We are gonna watch a press conference because it was a banger. All right, Trump, we're winning. We're freaking winning tonight. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling positive. Feeling that we've got that good energy. We got white pill energy tonight, y'all. No black pills. No one's taking any black pills today. What's up, Benjamin Nomad with a whoosh, slap the peach? There you go. Sometimes you got to slap the peach. Every now and then you got to make the peach count. Just saying. Drives the point home. You tried at 2 a.m. for a few weeks after sleeping. That blue chunks. Yeah, I remember that. It was something. It's late. It's a late stream. I think it was. What is Mountain Time compared to Central Time? If 2 p.m. Mountain Time, that's 3. Isn't that 3 a.m. Central Time? Or is it 1? I don't know. I don't know these time zones things. That's right. You slapped that peach. Damn right. Respect the authority. But yes, the good news today. Good news, everyone. Seriously though, I was feeling demoralized as fuck after that Kash Patel comment about Epstein killing himself. But after this week, nothing's going to be 100%, y'all. That's something that we do have to keep in mind. Nothing is going to be 100%. 1 hour difference, nice. And I did forget to say that we are streaming to Rumble X. We're X streaming. We're over on the dozerden.locals.com for at least the first 30 minutes, and then we are on CommyTube for a little bit, and BitChute and Pilled.net. And thank you so much. Was it 2 Wild Irish Rose for the red pill over there? Much appreciated. Is it 1 hour ahead or 1 hour behind? So your 2 a.m. would be my 1 a.m., right? I think that's how it works because you're further east. I think. Oh, I hope it's dropping. I'm not saying that James O'Keefe didn't. I'm not saying that James. Oh, thanks for the repost over there too, Wild Irish Rose. Much appreciated. Love your avatar. Cute little leprechaun with wings or fairy. Not sure. Imagine this time slot is the same as everyone else's. LMAO. Only time we have. True. This is the reason that I do 9:30, y'all. If you didn't know, wrong on the clock thing. I don't know. Is it 1 a.m. or is it 3 a.m.? So it'd be 3 a.m. for me? I think. I remember one of the times I was lifting. I decided to lift heavy weights whenever I was on a stream with y'all once out in the garage. Because why not? Why not? It's what you do at like 3 a.m. in the morning, right? But oh damn. So looks like there's more James O'Keefe is releasing some more Epstein stuff. Okay, you're an hour okay. So it's 9:43 for me right now. Or 9:40, close enough, 9:45. So all right. Now I got you. So my that would be your 2 o'clock would be my 3 o'clock. Got you. That's what it was. But so I guess James O'Keefe is dropping some more stuff tomorrow. Pam Bondi cut him off before he could release that. And so it made it seem like it wasn't as impactful, I think. The one before that, people were mad about, and I will say James O'Keefe going out and at a party and DJing after hyping it up, and there's a little bit of show. There's a lot of showmanship with that. But after acting like his life was threatened and stuff, and but then he's like after he gets the info out, he's DJing, and yeah, he's got the vest on, but dude, that was a little bit much. That was a little much. But smash that thumbs up like it's a lefty. In self-defense, that's right. Arizona time. You're all wrong. Entropy nomad. Arizona time is the only time, huh? Yeah, I still think it was impactful, though. I think Prince Andrew, I think you had a close confidant coming out and confirming what we all suspected, what we all pretty much knew, but it does add more weight to it when you have somebody that was that close and evidently very, very involved with his family to come out and confirm it. So, but he did overplay it. I agree completely. Yeah, he overplayed it, and then it's a slap in the face a little bit when you said your life was threatened, and then you're out at a party, like literally up on the fucking DJ, like you're scratching the fucking turntable. It's like, bro, like don't do that. That's shitty. But let's check out what Sterling put there in the chat. Let's check it out. Let's see if he's got some more juicy details. The Pam Bondi thing, that one was important. Oh, it's coordinates. I wonder where that is. Now I'm tempted to search it. 18.3028 degrees north, 64.8242 degrees west tomorrow. Yeah, and then yeah, this one he's not happy. Someone just says, "Oh, come on." Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I think that him coming out and saying that was big. Talking about Prince Andrew was big news. I agree. And a lot of people, and Pam Bondi cut him off at the heels before they could get their information out. What is up, Shema? Good to see you. Says Meowdy Bulldozer. Hope you're having a good stream. Love the haircut. Saw your tweet that you donated. Yeah. Well, hey. Yeah. Figured, hey, I have it. Might as well. You know. Hopefully they're able to use it. I think they'll be able to. Maybe get some of the grays out because kids don't really need the gray hair. Probably I got a bit of salt. I've been getting some gray hair silvers since I was about 13 years old. So, guys, if you have not followed Shema yet, Shema Hatred, one of the only VTubers that I actually watch. She's funny, and I have a ducky, so I like it. And my ducky dozes the other ducks out of the way with a little explosion. Shoots a little heart out of its chest. Yeah, I'm a fan. What's up, TV Green? Good to see you. Thanks for smashing that like button. I agree, Sterling. Yes, it was actually big news. It's Little St. James coordinates. Did they buy? I think it was up for sale. Wasn't that island up for sale? Who bought that island? Did it actually happen? It's a chaos duck. Yes, it is an absolute chaos duck. I love it. Point to location near Little St. James, private island in the U.S. Western, known for its association with Jeffrey Epstein. There you go. Sterling coming in hot with some juicy stuff there. That'll be interesting. That sounded like a Grok answer. I was figuring that was Grok. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see, I guess. I know Luke Rudkowski and a friend actually were on Epstein Island years ago and were running around getting chased by people. So there you go. Sterling following the VTubes. Let's see. Yep. Oh. I think if we had Tulsi Gabbard in charge of things with the Epstein stuff, I think we would be getting a little bit more. I think that Pam Bondi is somebody who should be fired. I think she hurts the America First movement. I think she is an establishment hack. That's what I think of Pam Bondi. I will say I'm black-pilled on her. I don't have any faith in Pam Bondi to do the right thing. That was a horrible pick from Trump. Don't like her at all. Probably better than Bob, right? Fuck. No, it was Bill Barr. That toad of a man. That absolute toad of a man. Fucking bushy. His daddy, Bill Barr's daddy, was involved with the Mossad and Epstein. So, kind of sus that, he ended up committing suicide, they say. They say Epstein killed himself. Kash Patel now says that he said, I believe Epstein killed himself. That's a problem. Now, there's a better way that you could have said that. You could have said the current evidence indicates that. That would have been a more lawyerly way to say that. He dropped the ball on that answer. I hope, but maybe you'll get yourself a duck, Sterling. There you go. All right, but yeah, hopefully it's something juicy. We'll see. I just would like to see at least know that there's some indictments coming, like without telling who it is, because that gives them a chance to escape, right? So we don't need that, but I would like to know that we at least have some progress being made on that front. Because if we don't, then no one's getting held accountable, and I am all about accountability. That's what I just want people to be held accountable. That's it. Um, hopefully he was just trying to throw him off. That's a point. That's a point. That very well may have been the case. At least with the Pam Bondi one. I still think that first one was more important than people give it credit for. I don't think it was the fact that the whole my life's in danger and stuff. I mean, that's probably the case most of the time, but he did overplay it. But like the way the information was important, I will say it was important. Like I said, a close confidant that was very, very close with that family, pretty much confirmed the accusations. But what's going to be done? We talk about the problems a lot. We talk about the problems here. We talk about the problems in general, and we've got to have solutions at some point. Solutions do need to come. Ooh, there you go, Sterling with a whoosh, slap at a peach. There you go. Jiggle physics, guys. Jiggle physics. Absolutely. But yes, interesting stuff. But the first topic, we are going to watch. We're going to watch and react to the Trump press conference with all of those health nuts behind him. You got Jay Bhattacharya, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Mehmet Oz, which Mehmet Oz actually, very good presentation. He presents well. And Trump actually says during it, he said that, people having their own shows ends up being detrimental in a way to your professional, status. And that's a good point. It is a good point. Oh, we have another. Slap to peach. With the stuff that was available. It's not, it wouldn't have been possible. He also did the George Floyd thing, and he didn't die. And this one, he still had the heart thing with his chest. Yeah. Oh, fentanyl Floyd. That happened. That did. But anyways, second topic of the night, we are going to talk about the freed Israeli American. Edan Alexander has been freed from captivity from Hamas. And apparently Trump kind of just did it without Israel, because Israel wasn't really doing much on that front. And I was getting into it with people on X. By the way, follow me at Dozer74 _ over there on X if you want to see me get into fights with liberals and Zionists and just basic bitch conservatives, because I'm not a conservative in a lot of aspects. I'm independent, and I have very libertarian leanings. So I always say I'm independent / libertarian. I don't like the gang mentality of politics, but typically I do vote right. Just depends on the person, though. And if you're an America first individual, if you're going to be about this country first, I support you. You have to show me that, though. If you are going to put Israel first, or Taiwan first, or China first, or any other country first above our country, fuck you. I have no use for you. You are useless. You are a waste of space. And anybody that votes for you is silly. But we've got an article to read through about the release of Edan Alexander, and we have a clip from Benny Shap. Benny Shap, good old Zionist Benny Shap. He's not happy. He's not happy about it. He's against working with Qatar. Said it's just completely vile. It's very vile. Benny Shap, calm down. You've got to actually talk to the people that you want to actually get the hostage back from. All right? George Kirby. But you're a fiscal conservative, kick. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Black and yellow, black and yellow. But yeah, that's an interesting one. He is going to be going to Qatar, I believe, to talk to somebody in charge there. I don't know. And people are all like huffy about the beautiful jet that they gifted to the Trump administration, or to this country. And I don't really care. It's not like he's going to be using it for personal purposes. And probably, honestly, I wouldn't fly in it. I wouldn't. It's just asking for problems. He actually gets asked about it towards the end of the press conference. So, uh, one of the one of my favorite things, one of my favorite things in the press conference is when he's talking about his rotund friend, businessman that's very successful, but he's a big feller, and he's talking about the fat shot drug. You take it and it's supposed to just melt the fat away, but it wasn't working. It wasn't working for fatty boom batty. No, it wasn't. Just what fucking timeline are we living in when you have Trump just throwing massive shade and RFK Jr. in the background trying not to lose his shit, and then even Jay Bhattacharya starts cracking up. It's like the man is hilarious. He is a walking meme machine, and I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, I would. It's a beautiful freaking plane. My God, I mean, you could absolutely live there. But yeah, I probably that fat shot drug. That's what he called it. He called it that fat shot drug. You mean it? You mean he couldn't say the name? I guess. RFK Jr. I think did say it though. He's like, fuck it, I don't care. Yeah, he could not set foot in that fucking plane. Absolutely not. We'll put Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell can test it. We'll let Mitch McConnell go in there. He can bring his cocaine with him. That cocaine. Fucking we'll let Lindsey Graham. He can test out that nice fancy jet. Bring his little ladybugs with him. Doctors keep trying to put you on Ozempic. No way. I got something that I take to help with my A1C, but I think I might be able to get off of it because the A1C is looking better, and I've been eating better, been trying to be a little bit more active. But yeah. First thought, that thing is filled to the brim with spy tech. Absolutely, gorgeous spy tech, but spy tech nonetheless. Yes, indeed. But we are going to discuss that. We're going to make fun of Ben Shapiro too, because fuck Ben Shapiro, that little weasel. I dislike him greatly. No, my wife's a doctor. You gotta trust me. Get the shot. Don't be a fucking idiot. Get the shot. Just get the shot. Go ahead and put it in your veins. Poison yourself. Get your shot. Trust me, my wife's a doctor. Fuck you, Ben Shapiro. You little twat waffle. That's right. Twat waffle. Twat waffle. Sign language for one of my favorite insults. Yes, indeed. Did I cover the Macron? That I'm back and forth. He looks shifty as hell. When Macron's grabbing that little bag, it looks like it's either a baggie or a tissue. And the one thing was either a stir or a spoon. It could have been a bump spoon. Rekieta said he knows that move. So I'm just saying, previous Coke user said he knows that move, reaching and grabbing it and then just kind of, it's shifty as hell. His body language looks like, oh fuck it, we just got caught. That's what it looks like. And he looks a little glassy-eyed. I'm just saying. I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure that Keir Starmer, Macron and whatever that other guy's name was, I don't know for sure that they were doing bumps of cocaine right before that those news people came in. But they looked like they weren't expecting them to come in the door. And they didn't want that on the table. Just saying. Twat waffle, is that? Could be. If you want it to be a cunnilingus joke, it could be. Oh gosh. Yes, indeed. Yeah, he put that bag in his pocket. Maybe it was a tissue, but the body language says that was not just a tissue. If it was a tissue, that body language wouldn't have been so shifty. I'm just saying. But that's right, schma. Bam. The Killdozers. We actually might be making shirts, guys. Lady Dozer has a t-shirt press, and she found a really cool little logo, Killdozer logo. So we might be making a Dozer Den t-shirt that might be available at some point. We shall see. It's a thought. They looked like boys who were caught doing something they shouldn't be. Yeah. No one hides the stir. Why were you hiding a stir? Like dude hid the stir. Well, fuck it. We'll pull it up. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Do it live. Did I put it in my bookmarks? I thought I did. Maybe not. Not in my bookmarks. I do have a lot of fun stuff in my bookmarks, though. We'll play with that later. That's what she said. I can't spell to save my damn life. Is this the one? Let me see here. Well, let's pull it up. We'll take a look at it. You guys tell me what you think. I think it was probably something that he shouldn't have had. That's just my thought. Mind. And that is, look, the freaking rubbing his arm. And then, oh. Yeah. That looks real freaking sus, guys. Real freaking sus. Here's a one where they're standing up and then sitting down.
Yeah.
It's literally. We came through Germany. We made it to
German
France.
bedroom and
Yeah, we got through the border.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So it would be a little bit of a
Slightly different angle. What awkward silence.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the pocket. Okay. I don't know. Allegedly. Allegedly, that was cocaine.
So it would be a little bit of a drink.
I don't know. If I say was Hunter there with them guys? Did they get influenced? Were they innocent little fellers? And then Hunter Biden just came along with his cocaine and just Schmal says totally coke. It's totally coke. Why would you hide a drink stir? That's the thing. They was absolutely hiding that. And then, I mean, you know, I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and say it was cocaine. Just because. The body language says that was drugs. That was literally, Mama Mac, you said it earlier. It's like, it looks like, you know, boys that were caught, like someone walked in and they look like boys who were just caught doing something they shouldn't be. Yes, absolutely, Mama Mac. Now, I'm not going to say for sure, but it looked like it. Just saying. Oh, what are we coming to, y'all? Maybe that's what got Keir Starmer, maybe coming around to the light, y'all. We've talked about it before. I do cocaine! Dr. Roxo. Metalocalypse. I love that show. I need to watch that again. I do cocaine! The clown. The rock clown. Dr. Roxo. It's great. It's a great callback there, Sterling. But yeah, it's an interesting time. Maybe this is what got Starmer to change his mind. Maybe he did enough bumps of cocaine to determine that maybe we shouldn't be letting all the damn illegals in. Maybe we shouldn't be flooding this island, because Great Britain is an island. Or the UK. Yeah. Well, Great Britain. That's the island, right? UK would be other things too, I think. Not geography, fuck it. Well, he ended up saying, quote, that they don't want to turn into an island of strangers. What a xenophobe. Are you guys serious? We talked about it months ago. That he said it was a failed experiment and that it was not good for the country. And then now he's coming out and going a little bit further. But this could just be to curry favor with the population that is there. I seriously doubt they're actually going to change their ways, because I believe that the elites absolutely want this type of invasion to occur. In the old days, it was war. It was bloodshed when the invasion and the takeovers happened. Now, that's not as feasible. So what do? You have elites, and I say that word with disdain. I don't actually favor these people. When the elites fund organizations and fund the movement of vast amounts of individuals, foreigners, into a native land to get rid of culture, language, and borders, that is an invasion. That is absolutely an invasion. And when the native population can't talk about it, that's a fucking problem. And that's why I've said before, I've said it on stream multiple times, people in the UK need to rise the fuck up and take back their fucking government. Take back their country from these globalist fucks. That's what they need to do. Did you say curry? Curry? Apparently, the curries being shared between Pakistan and India. Apparently, they're friends again. Freaking brokered a peace deal, working on a trade deal with China. Apparently, getting Putin and Zelensky to sit down face to face to have a conversation, let them fight. Let them fight. Let Putin beat the shit out of that little Zelensky. Don't let him have cocaine, because a cocaine-fueled little midget, and I say this as somebody who's 5'6", but cocaine-fueled midget might be able to give Putin a run for his money. I'm just saying. What are you doing? I have to take more cocaine to make fights for you, and we will have much thing to talk about after I beat your ass. Yes. What is that? Is that y'all think that's actually how he speaks? Like in private? I don't know, y'all. But that is the third topic: immigration in the UK. They may be doing a 180. We'll see. You think Putin would wreck Zelensky even on coke? He's an imposing man. He's short, but I bet you he could fuck you up. Like, how tall is Putin? Oh, that's a good question. I think he might be about as tall as me. He might be 5'7" or 5'8". Let me see. Oh, shit. How tall is Putin? God, I don't want his fucking height in centimeters. Jesus Christ. 5'7". Putin is 5'7". He's probably 5'5" or 5'6". Just saying. I, as someone who is 5'5.5" or so, or 5'6", usually claim 5'6". Just saying. He is. I'm pretty sure he is a black belt. Yes, he's in judo as well. I know for sure judo. I don't know about any other martial arts, but I would assume he's got a decent blend. He was part of the fucking KGB. He could probably kill you with a feather. Although, to be honest, guys, feathers are not as innocent as you would think. If you get a feather that's big enough, you could stab somebody in the eye with a feather and kill them. I'm just saying. Feathers can be vicious. They could be. In the right hands. We're squirreling, guys. We're squirreling just a little bit. It happens here on the show and in real life. If you guys think I squirrel hard here, just imagine how it is in real life. It's a thing. Oh, man. You guys are having a good time. Glad to see it. That's what I remember hearing, that he's a black belt. It's very possible, Dirk Gently. Yeah. I was surprised I haven't seen Putin wrestling a bear. Saw that. That was a cool clip of Alex Terrible wrestling that tiger. That's a very bad idea. Even if they're playing a tiger with just the wrongs, that's death. A very quick death if they slice the right artery. Yeah. Yeah. It's, I don't know. Feather to the jugular. You get up to the pearly gates. How'd you die? Feather. Peter would laugh at you. Note to self, pick a feather next time to see what happens at the TS. I'm just gonna tell you, this feather can be used as a deadly weapon, and we're gonna have to strip search you now. We have to get right up in the asshole. Let me check your asshole. All right, that's a South Park reference. If you don't know, Sterling knows. Oh, that was a great... God, South Park was... I've got to catch up on South Park. I haven't watched the past couple seasons. Few seasons, I think. Fantastic show, though. Oh, man. Fourth topic, though. What's up, Sartorius01? Good to see you. He fed a tiger mouth to mouth, and it broke one of Alex's teeth. Yeah, that's a thing. They're very, very... They're killing machines. They're built to kill. I wouldn't do that. Hopefully he doesn't get eaten by one of his friendly animal companions. Oh my God, guys. Alex the Terrible. He sings. He's got a wonderful voice. He's friendly. And he has woodland critters that come up to him, and he plays with the woodland critters. Alex Terrible from Slaughter to Prevail is a Disney princess. Holy shit. It all makes sense. That's your next Disney. That is your next Disney princess. All right, Disney. Get Alex Terrible on the phone. Make it fucking happen. All right? That'll bring your brand back. You put Alex Terrible. Oh, wait, he's a Russian, and you guys are going to say something about Russia for that. Well. You actually got a quill past the TSA. Entropy Nomad. What are you doing with a quill? Do you practice fine penmanship with an inkwell? Entropy Nomad? Oh damn! The hawk was chased out of an oak tree by 5 angry robins. Ooh, I put up a video. It's like a 27-second video, and I put it on YouTube because as a short, because I'll use YouTube for clips and stuff. I guess I am currently streaming to YouTube, but I'm gonna put more clips there. When Rumble Shorts comes out, I'll put shorts up here too. But I there's a family of robins. Not excuse me, not robins. Woodpeckers that have decided to take residence in the dead limb that I need to trim. So that actually gives me an excuse not to cut it down, right? There are babies in there. All right, this video on the YouTube, short little video. The mom and the dad woodpecker are taking turns feeding the babies. Dad runs off, gets some worms or bugs, comes back. He's sticking his little head in there. The mom was up there being impatient, chittering away at her husband. She wasn't getting out of the way, and she had a lot more food in her mouth for the babies. But yes, there are woodpecker babies up there in the little woodpecker home in the tree. Yes, very nice. Your son thinks he does. Well, good for him. Judo and Sambo, honorary Taekwondo black belt. Taekwondo is no joke. Like if you like, it's flashy when like in practice. It's a lot of the snaps. The whole thing is like the snap at the end with the kick and what few punches that you do. The strikes, the hand strikes in Taekwondo aren't as prevalent. It's more focused on the kicks. God, I forgot what Taekwondo translates to, but I think it involves kicks. Judo is pretty much just taking energy of your enemy and using it against them. I forgot what judo translates to. I've done judo, taekwondo, karate, kempo karate. Only got up to like yellow or gold belt in all of them, but it was fun. I really enjoyed it. Judo was one of my favorites because you get to grapple, and I like wrestling people. I am really good at choking people out. And when we did the back-to-back, like I was about 265, 270, so I was 20 to 30 pounds heavier at the time. And I'd love to do it now because I'm lighter and my cardio is better. But we did back-to-back. So you start sitting down in the gym or whatever. You start back-to-back, and it's pretty much about who's going to be quicker, who's going to be quickest to turn and get the dominant position. And we grappled. I got one guy, and then I got the next guy, and then I got the next guy, and then I got the next guy, and I got to like 6 or 7 deep, and like either getting a pin or getting them to tap, and I got gassed after about 6 or 7 folks. Like it was brutal as hell. And like the last guy comes up, and I'm just like, I'm fucking done, man. I'm done. Just pin me. He goes, man, go on, give me, give me a struggle, give me a fight, because he saw me going hard on, at all the other guys. It was so fun. God, I like that stuff. I need to get back into it. But yeah, if you've never practiced a martial art or something like that, I absolutely advocate for that stuff. It is such a good thing to learn some basics of just your basic combat. Even if you're only in it for a little bit, and you learn just a little bit to be able to defend yourself if you ever end up in a situation like that, it's a good thing for you, and it builds your confidence. And you've got kids that are there's this one guy, I felt bad because we should not have been doing it. It's called randori, I believe, when you do the stand up part of judo. And I ended up, this guy wanted to go against me, but I had about 80 pounds on him or more. Might have been 100 pounds on him. He was a little guy. And I tossed him around, and I kind of felt bad afterwards because it was bad. And like the black belt and the teacher, the sensei, were watching, and like I was doing some moves that technically I hadn't learned yet, but it just felt right. So like, I don't know, I found a position to implement a move and use someone's momentum against them, and made them pretty much do a flip and land almost on their head. So I felt bad for that, but I kept him from in his head. And that's one of the things that you do in a martial art like that. You're actually taking care of the person you're sparring with. Like that's you're in control of that person's movement when you've got them in the air. So when you take them down and when you get a takedown, you're actually not trying to kill them and not trying to hurt them necessarily. You're actually trying to keep them, you're getting the takedown, you're getting the throw, right? But you're doing it in a caring way so that you're still on, and like you're kind of like keeping them from cracking their damn head, right? You're still being vicious, but also considerate. That's the goal anyways. I remember there was this one time there was the way of the foot and fist. Nice. Is that what Taekwondo translates to? No, Kung Fu. Oh, that's interesting. Nice. But one of the things that I really liked was going against bigger guys. All right, I'm 5'6". I did it. I loved doing it in football. Right, I was a lineman. Right, 5'6" lineman. Doesn't make much sense, but it worked for me. Me and my brother, we were the right side of the O line my senior year. Built like fire hydrants, and it was always funny to go against the dudes that are like 6'5", 400, 350, 400 pounds. Yeah, a little 5'6", 5'3", $180, 235, 240 at the time, and it's just funny. It just looks funny going against the big guys, and in judo, going against the big guys, um, once you get him on the ground, like there's this one guy. He turtled, right? You're a big guy, you got a fat neck. He can fluff it out, and I wanted to choke, so I took my side of my thumb kind of like this, and I just worked it in here and just wiggle, 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 and then got it to where like to where I could get my wrist up in there. And once I had my wrist in there, he was sweaty, so it slid in, and I got that choke, right. And this is the way they taught us to choke in judo. You clasp the hands. That's a little bit easier on the neck, because with the rear naked choke, you can actually do a little bit when you crank that neck. You can actually do a little bit of harm to the neck. So and that also, I had a really good sensei. Teaching like the care for the person that you're going against, because you're not in a life or death struggle. You're practicing. You're trying to help each other. You're bettering each other in that aspect. But well, that was a tangent, y'all. Thank you, Putin. Damn Russians infiltrating my stream. What's up, Trader Todd? Good to see you. Yeah, there you go. I never did Kung Fu. Oh, Bruce Lee. I nerded out hard there about mixed martial arts. It's fun stuff, though. I enjoy that kind of thing. But anyways, fourth topic of the night that we're going to discuss. We've got a clip. It's going to be a little bit shorter at the tail end. It's a... there you go, Ken Aiden. We're going to talk about fighting cancer. There's a Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong was on with Tucker Carlson. We got like a 6 or 7 minute clip where they have a different perspective on analyzing cancer and fighting cancer. And I just thought that was a cool little side topic. That kind of is our palate cleanser, kind of topic. Really, honestly though, if I'm being honest, I feel like this whole stream is going to be a palate cleanser type of stream. I don't even feel like I'm going to be ranting. That's probably a lie. I do rant. But no, you do, Aikido. See, the thing about me is I'm a very dangerous man. Man, when I could do the ponytail, I could have dressed up as Seagal. Nobody really wants to go against me. It's a blessing and it's a curse. Oh God. Steven Seagal. I'm the most dangerous man I know. I don't know. I don't know any of his quotes. I just like doing his voice. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get into the first topic. We are similar size too. He's a little taller. He's taller than me. He's actually not a short guy, I don't think. But yeah, I'm a bit bulkier than Seagal. I'll say that. I got some more bulk to me than he does. I got 2 sets of ab rollers, 2 sets of 20 ab rollers out of the way before stream, y'all. Great workout. If you've never done ab rollers, do ab rollers. Whole upper body workout. Just saying. It's worth your time. Learn to run like a normal man. No. I'm not a normal man. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the first topic of the evening, you all. We are going to talk a little bit about this amazing, literally white-pilling statement from Trump, talking about Big Pharma. And I will say this, pray for his safety, because when you go against somebody as strong as the Big Pharma medical industrial complex, you are asking for violence to come your way. So pray for Trump's safety after this. We're going to read through this Truth Social post. And I am on Truth Social, by the way, and on Getter, Bill Dozer 74 at both those places. I think I'm Bill Dozer 74 on Gab as well. So we are all over the place, y'all. But let's go ahead and check this one out real quick here. And this is impressive. The fact that he's actually doing this. Like, this is actually, it's like the Ron Paul. It's happening. It's fucking happening. And I hope it actually is codified in law. Mike Johnson, Speaker Mike Johnson. Actually, we got a rant. Fuck it. Real quick, before we get into it, Speaker Mike Johnson coming out and fucking making a post and acting like that, talking about the America First agenda and how Trump's agenda is going to get pushed forward. Rah, rah. Yeah, Mike Johnson's on the side of America First. The fuck you are, you limp-wristed motherfucker. Mike Johnson, do your goddamn job. Get off the fucking internet and do your fucking job. There's been 5 fucking bills that went to Trump's desk. What the fuck are you doing? We have a Republican-controlled Congress right now. What the absolute fuck are you doing canceling votes? You sack of fucking shit. No. The executive orders mean absolutely fucking nothing if we don't have law behind it, okay? This is well known, and this is the problem. If you don't fucking use the time that you have before the midterms, typically Americans are fucking retarded, and they like to do a pendulum swing thing. So we're going to probably end up with some fucking Democrats. At least one of the houses is probably going to go swing to the fucking Democrats. That's just usually what happens. I hope not. I'm going to put energy out there that says that. Not going to happen. But Mike Johnson, don't you ever fucking try to take credit for America First, you stupid fucking squishy conservative, you cuck-servative little faggot. Fuck you, Mike Johnson. Do your fucking job, boy. All right, there's a raid. A rant, rather. Not a raid. I raided myself. Let's get into this Truth Social post, though. I don't like Mike Johnson. He's a sack of shit. Fuck him. Despicable, pathetic, weak-willed little bitch. Oh, I hate. That's why I'm not a conservative. Those are your typical conservatives. Fuck those people. No, I'm not for that. Donald Trump on Truth Social. I am not going to be able to do Trump voice this whole time. When it gets to the caps, though, I can't help it. When it gets to the caps, I have to. I was reading this to my to Lady Dozer, and I could not help myself. When it gets to the caps, Trump voice just happens. It takes over. I can't help it. For many years, the world has wondered why prescription drugs and pharmaceuticals in the United States of America were so much higher in price than they were in many other nations. Oops, typo. Oh, wait, nope, my bad, Trump. Sorry, good Trump. Bad Bulldozer. They were in any other nation, sometimes being 5 to 10 times more expensive than the same drug manufactured in the same laboratory or plant by the same company. What the hell? Come on, guys. It was always difficult to explain and very embarrassing because, in fact, there was no correct or rightful answer. The pharmaceutical/drug companies would say for years that it was research and development costs, and that all of these costs were and would be, for no reason whatsoever, borne by the suckers of America alone. Campaign contributions can do wonders, but not with me. No, not with me. You can shower me with dollar bills, hundreds even, and I'm not gonna be your bitch. No. And not with the Republican Party. We're going to do the right thing, something that the Democrats have fought for many years. Therefore, I am pleased to announce that tomorrow morning in the White House at 9 a.m., this happened today, I will be signing one of the most consequential executive orders in our country's history. Prescription drug and pharmaceutical prices will be reduced almost immediately by 30 to 80%. They will rise throughout the world in order to equalize and, for the first time in many years, bring fairness to America. I will be instituting a most favored nations policy, whereby the United States will pay the same price as the nation that pays the lowest price anywhere in the world. Our country will finally be treated fairly, and our citizens' health care costs will be reduced by numbers never even thought about before. You thought your numbers would get low. You didn't know how low, did you? Oh, I'll go low. I'll go so low. You don't even know how low I'll go. I'll go low, all the way to the flow. I'm having too much fun, y'all. I'm having way too much fun. Sterling, no. Oh, God. Let's see. Additionally, on top of everything else, the United States will save trillions of dollars. Thank you for your attention to this matter and make America great again. Masterpiece. Absolute masterpiece, y'all. I couldn't have said it better myself. Honestly, it was glorious. It was downright glorious. And with that, let's go ahead and get into the press conference, guys. This is where it all happens. It's a bit lengthy. It's a bit lengthy, but we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get it down. We're gonna get down. That's what she said. And you know, it makes me think, guys. Sometimes when you got to get something good down, you got to get something healthy down. I reach for a bag of Anton's Biltong. This is the Angus Biltong. Guys, this is what beef jerky wishes it could be, all right? Go to www.biltongusa.com. Link is in the description. And use promo code DOZER, DOZER, for 10% off of your order of an amazing, healthy superfood, some might say. Not medical advice here. But I am saying, if you want an alternative to the junk food that is in your cupboard, grab you some of Anton's meat, okay? It's delicious. It's full of iron, creatine, protein, B vitamins, zinc, magnesium, potassium. You know what it doesn't have? No sugar added, no gluten, no MSG or soy. This stuff is honestly fan-freaking-tastic. I wouldn't shout it out every stream if I did not actually respect the company. Anton, he's an immigrant from South Africa. People are mad about Trump accepting white South Africans for being persecuted. Why is that? Why you got a problem with white people when they're persecuted, huh? Can you ever acknowledge that white people are sometimes persecuted? White people actually are the minority globally and are treated like shit in a lot of ways whenever European culture comes in and makes shit better. And then they literally came out of the jungle in South Africa. Literally, this is not me being a shithead. They actually did this. And then when they get rid of the whites and they want to kill the Boer, kill the white farmer, their country goes to shit. There's not a word in that culture for maintenance. There's a word for repair, but not maintenance. But anyways, sidetracked for a moment there. Check out Biltong, biltongusa.com. Use that promo code DOZER if you want to get some meat. There you go, Neuro. Coming in clutch with the link. Check it out, guys. King of Biltong at www.biltongusa.com. Those 8-ounce bags do make great gifts. I need to spread the meat, guys. I need to share the meat with my family. You gotta let the meat slide down your throat hole. It's really good stuff, guys. Sincerely. I'm gonna get a bite right now. We're gonna go in. Oh, damn! Dear Sarge, you here? I didn't even notice you come in. What's up, Dear Sarge? Good to see you, bud. Oh, wait. Dear Sarge says it's moist. Oh, okay. So he's not here. But Dear Sarge says it's moist like you're, well, you know. Just saying, check it out, guys. Look at that thick, seasoned. Look at those seasonings, y'all. The distribution is just lovely. Absolutely lovely. It's good stuff. Meal replacement or snack. Just saying. Damn. I got excited, Ken Aiden. Yep. I mean, different cultures have different standards, and I mean, part of it's their structures were not like the ones that Europeans brought. They had huts and stuff like that. It's just how it was. But that's right, moist, moist like your Duncan Hines cake. Oh man, y'all are having a good time. I like it. Before we get into the clip, I saw a comedian make a funny joke, so I'm gonna share that with you guys. I'm gonna ease you guys into this clip. We got a little bit of the funnies. Let's get it.
I don't do liberal jokes at all, so you're good. Don't worry. I don't touch y'all because y'all are not fucking fun, dude. Y'all are not fun. Some of y'all, man, I just said you're not fun. Okay, like I don't make fun of y'all because y'all are sad a lot too, and I feel bad. I don't know. Y'all like to be sad, I think. I have a buddy up here. I invited him out. I was like, "You want to come out tonight?" And he's like, "I can't, man. Everything going on in the world, it's just hard to even get out of bed." I was like, "Your dad pays your rent." Like it's hard to get out of bed because you're in a Tempur-Pedic, brother. Okay, you know, $9,000 mattress. You know who the opposite is? I hate to go back to it, but it's rednecks, dude.
So
They'll have
fucking
the
true.
worst life, be happy as hell. I've had conversations almost exactly like this, people in my hometown. I just be like, Miss Hayes, I haven't seen you in forever. And the rednecks give you the past 6 months with a smile. Just be like, oh, I was on top of the trailer, right, taking the Christmas lights down. I trip, I fall, I break my damn neck, okay? They take me to the hospital. I got a tumor, stage 3. I got to go on a chemo in 2 weeks, all right? While I'm at the hospital, found out my husband was fucking that hussy down the street, Brenda.
Damn
You
it,
know
Brenda.
that bitch at the bank, yeah. And my daughter, Abigail, she got a divorce, right? Lost custody of the kids in the divorce. So when they were coming to pick up the kids, they hit the damn dog in the driveway, killed it. But I am blessed, man. I'm blessed, you know, I mean.
Yes. That right there. That is
The
Southerner.
Lord gave me another day, you know. Sounds like he doesn't like you that much. Doesn't sound like he's a fan.
It's true. That is so freaking true. Like I empathize with that. I'm that guy sometimes. I'm the one talking like that. Like, well, you know, that happened, this happened, but you know what? Got another day, damn it. Yeah, that's strength. It's called a strength-based perspective, right? It's appreciating the little things. Even if you got a crap sandwich, you got to find a way to make it palatable. All right, it's what we do. It's what rednecks do. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into the watch. It's a watch party. Hooray! It's a banger of a press conference. So, oh shoot. And I'm really glad the whitehouse.gov started at 17 minutes when he was showing up. I forgot the guy over to the left. I forgot his name, but I think they'll introduce him when we get there. We'll see. What's up, Harry Totu? Good to see you. You're late and gay, sir. But it's all right. Glad you've decided to join this episode. Don't forget to smash that like button. Guys, in the old days of Rumble, it was a plus sign, and we affectionately referred to it as the Plussy. That's Plussy. Get your filthy minds out of the gutter, you degenerates. You could smash the Plussy, pound that Plussy, wreck the Plussy. Sometimes you gotta grab them up by the Plussy. It's consensual. They said I could. That's right, y'all. That is right. Let's go ahead and get into it, and I gotta step away and check on Lady Dozer for a second, but I will be right back. Let's get into it.
Thank you, everybody. It's a big day.
Big day.
Should be fun. I don't know. You'll maybe find reasons why it's not, but I can't imagine because we have a lot of great things happening. It's been a very strong week and a very strong weekend. Before we begin, let me say a few words about the historic events that took place over the last few days. On Saturday, my administration helped broker a full and immediate ceasefire, I think a permanent one, between India and Pakistan, ending a dangerous conflict of two nations with lots of nuclear weapons. And they were going at it hot and heavy, and it was seemingly not going to stop. And I'm very proud to let you know that the leadership of India and Pakistan was unwavering, powerful, but unwavering in both cases, and having these, they really were, from the standpoint of having the strength and the wisdom and fortitude to fully know and to understand the gravity of the situation. And we helped a lot. And we helped also with trade. I said, come on, we're going to do a lot of trade with you guys. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. If you stop it, we're doing trade. If you don't stop it, we're not going to do any trade. People have never really used trade the way I used it. That I can tell you. And all of a sudden they said, I think we're going to stop. And they have. And they did it for a lot of reasons, but trade is a big one. We're going to do a lot of trade with Pakistan. We're going to do a lot of trade with India. We're negotiating with India right now. We're going to be soon negotiating with Pakistan. And we stopped the nuclear conflict. I think it could have been a bad nuclear war. Millions of people could have been killed. So I'm very proud of that. I also want to thank Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Rubio for their work and efforts. They worked very hard on that. We also, as you know, created a situation where the Houthis, for the first time ever, have ceased firing, and they've let it be known that they're not going to be firing at American ships anymore, not going to be firing at Americans anymore. This was a heavy barrage that lasted for approximately 50 days. And as you know, they've been in war essentially for forever. But over the last 10 years, they've been.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, Trump's getting some really good stuff done. And I mean, the way that the media is reacting to this, there are people lefties on TikTok that are actually worried about the drug companies losing profits. Literally, the man could fart out a rainbow and unicorns could populate underneath that rainbow, and the left would find a way to criticize it. But the dude is making waves, and this is, not gonna lie, this has got me feeling good. I'm gonna try to stay grounded because I know that there's other stuff that's going on and dark shit that's going on in the, the undercurrents of the government. And the deep state shills are still there. You got people in the FBI, even at the ground level. Cash Patel, you're wrong. You got a lot of ground level people that are shit. There's a lot of that going on, but there are some good things happening. A lot of good things happening. And this press conference details quite a few of them.
Very difficult for other countries. Nobody was able to do what we did, but they stopped, and we take their word for it. Their surrogates and them directly said, we don't want to do this anymore. And so we were satisfied with that. In addition, yesterday we achieved a total reset with China after productive talks in Geneva.
Ooh.
Both sides now agreed to reduce the tariffs imposed after April 2nd to 10% for 90 days as negotiators continue in the larger structural issues. And I want to tell you that a couple of things. First of all, that doesn't include the tariffs that are already on, that are our tariffs. And it doesn't include tariffs on cars, steel, aluminum, things such as that, or tariffs that may be imposed on pharmaceuticals, because we want to bring the pharmaceutical businesses back to the United States. And they're already starting to come back now based on tariffs. Because
my dog stepped on a bee. Massive bees. Massive news. Yes, the Pakistan-India ceasefire. That is some great stuff, guys. Great stuff. There's so much news right now. There's so much to talk about. It's a content creators buffet, essentially, right now, with all the stuff that happened over the weekend, for sure. But yes. Good Lord, guys. Good Lord. Oh, man. Oh, guys, do not forget to smash that like button, comment in the comment section, share this stream out with your loved ones, your friends, your family, ex-girlfriends, boyfriends, these are them friends. Like I said, not judging. I'm not. Just leave the kids and the animals out of it. Keep it consensual between adults and behind closed doors. And we're going to have ourselves a good time. Damn right. Spread the word of the Dozer Den and all the places that you frequent so that we may grow this Killdozer army and we may roll over our enemies. Metaphorically, through using words. No direct violence. Only in self-defense.
Because they don't want to pay 25, 50, or 100% tariffs, so they're moving them back to the United States. I spoke to Tim Cook this morning, and he's going to, I think, even up his numbers, $500 billion. He's going to be building a lot of plants.
Did you guys see Amber Heard had twins, apparently? She said she did it all by herself. I'm like, that's not physically possible. Like, maybe she got some chowder from the bank, and or maybe it's a test tube baby, test tube baby. Good for you, Amber Heard. Strong, independent women. Abusive bitch.
The United States for Apple, and we look forward to that. I really do look forward to that. But the talks in Geneva were very friendly. The relationship is very good. We're not looking to hurt China. China was being hurt very badly. They were closing up factories. They were having a lot of unrest. And they were very happy to be able to do something with us. And the relationship is very, very good. I'll speak to President Xi maybe at the end of the week. We have some other things we're doing. But one of the biggest things that we're doing, and I don't know if people realize this, but we made a great deal with China, great trade deal. But it was a much bigger deal originally, and then they canceled it right in the last day.
Damn.
Some of you faces I remember
Damn
were
Chinaman.
there when that happened. I remember you. And we had a deal where they opened up their country to trade with the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And they took that away at the last moment. And then I canceled the whole thing. And then 6 months later, we ended up doing a smaller deal. But it was a big deal. It was $50 billion worth of product that they were going to purchase from our farmers, et cetera.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People can't look past their nose when it comes to this tariff policy that he enacted. People were just looking at the immediate, that instant gratification. And if we continue on that instant gratification endorphin drip, the country will fail. And it was failing. You got to have a shakeup. You got to change it up. And I think some things are actually turning around to be positive. I still think that it's insane that we depend on a stock market that is slave to the whims of anxiety and mental illness. That's sad. We shouldn't have a situation like that, but we do. It's going to change everything. She had a baby without semen. I don't trust her kids. Yeah. I mean, aliens, right?
And we agreed to that. People thought it was 15 because they were doing 15. We made it 50 because I misunderstood the 15. I said, you got to get 50. Because when I asked, if you remember the story, when I asked, what are we doing with them? My Secretary of Agriculture at the time, Sonny Perdue, said, sir, it's about 15 billion and we're asking for 15. And I thought he said 50. So I said, so they came back with the deal at 15. And I said, no way, I want 50 because you said 50. They said, sir, we didn't say that. Anyway, bottom line, I said, go back and ask for 50. And they gave us 50. And they were honoring the deal. And we would call them up a lot for the corn and for the wheat and for everything. They were honoring the deal.
And I forgot, but Jay Bhattacharya isn't just about medicine. He's also, I think, a professor of economics. So this is like he's picking up on everything Trump's putting down right there.
And then when Biden got in, they no longer honored the deal. There was nobody to call. I would call on an average of once every 2 weeks to say, come on, you have to speed it up a little bit. And our farmers were doing great. I said to them, buy more land and bigger tractors, if you remember. That's what happened. But the deal was a very good deal. But the best part of the deal was that we opened up China. China agreed to open itself up to American business to go in. And it would have been a great thing, I think, for China. They would be able to see things that they haven't seen. They would be able to buy products that they have never been able to buy. Would have been great for American business. I think it would have brought unity between China, better unity between China and the United States. And the bottom line is that they canceled it the last day.
We absolutely should not be, Sam Duty. We make enough. We have enough. We should not be $1 in debt. For the borrower is slave to the lender, right? It's not a good place to be in.
Hey, we were all set to sign it. And then I went a little bit angry. I got a little angry. I said, they canceled the deal. The deal was done. It was all ready to be signed. And people went over, they came back to me, sir, they don't want to sign the opening up China. Well, the biggest thing that we're discussing is the opening up China, and they've agreed to do that, but it's going to take a while to paper it. That's not the easiest thing to paper, but that's the single, I think, to me, some people would disagree. Some people would say we're getting a lot of money with tariffs or whatever, but
I'm winning.
Especially when you add what we
I win here and I
have,
win there.
Remember, we're already getting the 50% on steel and different things. That's not included in these numbers. So you can add that. But the biggest thing to me is the opening up. I think it would be fantastic for our businesses if we could go in and compete with China. It would be a lot of jobs for China. It would be, I think, at a time when they can frankly use the jobs. And that's what we're talking about. So that's a very, very important element to add. So when Scott,
What's up, Paul
I
McGraw?
watched him speak the other day, and I think he didn't want to say it, but I said, it's okay to say it. Look, if we don't get it, we don't get it. But if we don't get it, it won't be a positive thing. But if we do get it, I think it's maybe the most important thing to happen. Because if you think about it, we opened up our country to China. They have very few restrictions. And they didn't open their country to us. Never made sense to me. It's not fair. And they've agreed to open China, fully open China. And I think it's going to be fantastic for China. I think it's going to be fantastic for us. And I think it's going to be great for unification and peace. China will also suspend and remove all of its non-monetary barriers. They've agreed to do that. Well, they're very numerous. But again, to me, the biggest thing that came out of that meeting is they've agreed. Now we have to get it papered, but they've agreed to open up.
Like, seriously, the impact of these moves and these trade deals, this is centuries of effect. If they can maintain it after this administration, this is centuries of success and wealth for this nation. Some might say it's going to make us a very wealthy nation. Some might say the wealth of the nation is very, very important.
Up China. It'll be great for everybody. And third, I'm very happy to announce that Edan Alexander, an American citizen
There you
who
go.
until recently most thought was no longer living, thought was dead, is going to be released in about 2 hours, actually. And he's going to be released before the eyes of Steve Witkoff, who has done a fantastic job. I know a lot of people that have a lot of talent. I know Steve had a lot of talent. But I know a lot of people with a lot of talent, but there's one that I thought had a special way about him, special personality, aside from being a good deal maker, had a special way about him, and it was Steve. Knew very little about the subject matter, who
Yes.
does, but he learned it in about 2 hours. And he's been fantastic. So I want to just thank Steve. But they're going to be releasing Edan in about 2 hours from now, or sometime today, let's say. And again, they thought he was dead just a short while ago. His parents are so happy. They're so happy. So it's, as you know, Edan's the only American citizen who's captured and held hostage by Hamas since October 7th, 2023. And he's coming home to his parents, which is really great news. I mean, to me, it's big news. They thought he was dead. So that's that. So we'll be heading there, and we'll be seeing 3 primary countries. You know all about that: Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar. On Thursday's meeting with Russia and Ukraine is very important. I was very insisted that meeting take place. I think good things can come out of that meeting.
If you get people to actually sit in the room face to face, I think, yeah, out of sight, out of mind is a real thing. So I think if you get those people together, then yes, I think it can. I agree. If they can actually work it out, it's going to be great. Either that or they're going to get in a fight. And I'm for either one. Putin, kick his ass. No, no, I saw that. Says Sam Duty is a Greta Thunberg thing. The clip from Benny Johnson. So wait, was Greta Thunberg's boat bombed by Israel? I mean, based Israel? I don't. I mean, I'm not saying I wish that upon Greta Thunberg. How dare you? How dare you? But might have to check that out later, Sam Duty. I got it copied, but I might have to. I'll check it out later, probably.
Stop the
Fun
bloodshed of the horrible.
Oh, she got
It's a
on it after
bloodbath.
it was hit. Damn.
But that 5,000
She
more,
bumped
it's
the
really
boat.
much more.
Jesus
Trying to be
Christ.
conservative. They're not American
Check out the
soldiers. They're
Dozer
from
Den
Russia. They're from
locals.com,
Ukraine,
y'all.
but they're
Follow
people.
me. Man,
They're human souls,
$5 a month
and they're
and you
being
get
killed at levels that
some good perks.
we haven't
Man.
seen since the Second World War. And it's every week. A lot of drone fighting. It's a whole new form of warfare, and it's violent and vicious. And so that's it. I'd like to go back to China just for a second. They're very heavy on the fentanyl.
Well, dang.
We're charging them, as you know, 20% for the fact that they send fentanyl into our country. And they've agreed that they're going to stop that. And, they'll be rewarded by not having to pay, hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. So
What's really screwed up about the Greta Thunberg thing is, doesn't she have autism? Like, she's got pretty high functioning autism from what I remember reading. But yeah, they put their kid with a developmental disability out there in the public and took her childhood away. She wasn't going to school, and she used that to be an activist, and her parents were just crazy activists. So that whole thing, That whole thing smells like an op to me. But yeah. Well, at least I don't wish harm on people for just disagreeing. She's not a good person though, from what I've seen. Also was manipulated by the people who were supposed to take care of her though. So that's, you got to look at both sides there. But yeah. Sterling, good God. Real doubts the IDF shot missiles at her ship. I have no clue. What's up, Bry Guy? Good to see you. B Money Gaming.
The fentanyl should stop. It comes from China. It's amazing. And comes through our southern border, comes through our northern border too, comes through Canada, and comes through our southern border, much more through the southern border.
Prospects in Canada.
But so that's a very important subject to me, because everybody in this room has lost friends or people that have family members that have died of fentanyl.
Got on after they got
so
shot.
There's a big incentive for China to stop, and I take them at their word. They're going to work on that, I think, very hard. And one thing, when they work on something, they get it done. So now I'm about to depart on a historic visit. Some of you are going with us to, as I said, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and United Arab Emirates.
Trump needs an Iron Man suit. I've been saying this for months. Well, I say it periodically. I mentioned it back after the first attempt where he got shot in the head. Iron Man suit. Make it orange and red, like just that, like a blazing orange, or not a blazing orange. Orange. A la Trump orange. And red, and America colors as well. You got to put some red, white, and blue on there in some capacity. But yes, there must be a lot of orange, and then red, white, and blue. Iron Man suit for the Donald.
Before I do, I'll sign one of the most consequential executive orders in our country's history. I don't think there's ever been anything signed like this, certainly not with respect to health care, nothing even close. I'm delighted to be joined on this occasion by Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is doing a really good job, I have to tell you that. CMS Administrator, a friend of mine, Dr. Mehmet Oz, who is an amazing guy. I was telling Bobby before, Oz had a very successful show, but it hurt his reputation. Because when you're in show business, it hurts your reputation a little bit. It's good for you, but in terms of professionalism and being a doctor, it sort of hurts your reputation. This guy went to the best schools, was the best, top of the line. Then he did a television show, became a success, made a lot of money, all that stuff, but it sort of hurt him. And you know who I compare that to? I hate to say this, but a special woman, Jeanine Pirro. She was the toughest, smartest DA maybe in our countries, in our cities and states history. New York.
See, right now he's
she
doing
was
a little bit of the
really
weave.
tough,
Doing a
really
little
tough.
weave.
Then she did a show, and people didn't think of her quite the same way. She became more of an entertainment person, like us. Oz is not an entertainer. He's not really an entertainer, if you know the real story. And she isn't either. She is unbelievable. She was one of the strongest district attorneys in the history of New York. Highly respected, very tough. Went after the drug dealers at a level that you don't see today anymore. And hopefully she's going to be, she's given up a tremendous, she's leaving the number one show on cable television, one of the number one shows on television, period. The Five, but they've got great people left behind, but she was a big part of it.
He's about to come back around.
And so I equated to that.
There you go.
Jeanine Pirro is unbelievable. FDA Commissioner Dr. Marty McCary, with a reputation that's second to none, and the job he's doing already has been fantastic. Thank you, Marty. And Director of National Institute of Health, Jay Bhattacharya, who has been, as you know, from Stanford, so highly regarded, and have all been working with us very hard on this. And the question they would ask, being a little bit new to the government aspect of it, is why doesn't somebody fight the drug price situation, meaning equalization? There's a term, it's called equalization. Nobody wants to mention that term. And I'm not knocking the drug companies. I'm really more knocking the countries than the drug companies, because they're forced to do things. But the drug lobby is the strongest lobby in this country. They say, the drug lobby. It's between that and lawyers. And they have
Nice.
a lot of power.
Sweet.
But starting today, the United
if you
States
wanna
will
drop
no
that
longer
link in the chat,
subsidize
go
the
for it, man.
health care of foreign countries, which is what we were doing. We're subsidizing others' health.
Oh, Piero is going to be the interim U.S. District Attorney for D.C. It starts 120 days. They were to do Ed Martin, but Tom Tillis, that cuck-servative individual, decided to hold that up, blocked it. And so now Ed Martin got a promotion. Is going to be doing a lot more, he's going to be a lot more effective in the role that Trump gave him. Essentially searching out the weaponization of like the government offices and stuff like that. So it's going to be solid. Very, very solid. There is the link. Guys, if you like Rumble and you want to help Daremuth out, he is got a viewer survey for those who do like watching here on Rumble, one of the most free speech platforms you can stream on. There is a survey that you can participate in, and apparently it's a little bit more streamlined. I have got to check that out and actually remember to do it this time because I've been forgetting. You ever forget? Happened to me once or twice. Thanks for posting that, Neuro. Good to see that is building. Hopefully Rumble is actually paying attention. I will say I hope Rumble is paying attention to Dermot's a good dude. I was on a stream with him, Rumble Squared. He does I forgot how often he does this this panel or where I was on with like 4 or 5 other guys, or might have been a girl too, and we were talking about Rumble, the things that we like about Rumble, things that we want to Rumble to improve upon, and it was a good conversation. He's been having viewer surveys and creator surveys that he's compiled, and he's getting some, he's gathering data on it. So maybe Rumble will pay attention to that. I don't know, but we shall see. We shall see. What's up, Trish? Lovely mod in the chat. Don't forget to smash the like button, guys. Give it all you got. Daramoose a nice guy. I've been on his show a couple times, that panel, and then once before that. He's does a lot of interviews, gets guests on, and they talk. It's a conversationalist, one could say. But yes, let me see. Did I miss anything? Yep. Okay. Now, and I don't know if Janine Pirro is going to be the one that he wants to nominate to the full-time position of the U.S. District Attorney for D.C., but hey, we'll see how she does in the interim, I suppose. There'll be a testing the waters, I suppose.
Scare countries where they paid a small fraction of what for the same drug that what we pay many, many times more for, and will no longer tolerate profiteering and price gouging from Big Pharma. But again, it was really the countries that forced Big Pharma to do things that, frankly, I'm not sure they really felt comfortable doing. But they've gotten away with it, these countries. European Union has been brutal.
Disagree to an extent. I mean, he might know more than I do. He's the president. But you can't take away the blame from Big Pharma for doing the shit that they do. I understand other countries have policies and stuff like that, but I don't want to take away any of the responsibility that they have for treating Americans like shit.
Brutal. And the drug companies actually told me stories. It was just brutal how they forced them. And European Union suing all our companies, Apple, Google, Meta. They're suing all of our companies. They end up, they have judges that are European Union centric, and they get rewarded 15 billion, 17 billion, 20 billion, and they use that to run their operation. Not going to happen any longer, that I can tell you. So what's been happening is we've been subsidizing other countries throughout the world, not just in Europe, throughout the world. European Union was the most difficult from what I understand. I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a business
I love this.
very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up.
Kennedy, losing his
and
shit.
He said,
Trying not to.
President, he calls me. He used to call me Donald. Now he calls me President. So that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy, very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said,
James Bhattacharya lost it. RFK Jr.'s losing it. Oh my God. He's like, I got that fat shot drug. It's not working. You're still a fat ass. You should take at least 3 shots a week. Oh my God. Oh my God. What an absolute savage. What an absolute fucking savage he is. He's a friend. Let's rewind. Let's rewind that for a sec. I don't know how far that went back, but we'll see.
the fat shot drug. And he called me up and he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President. So that's nice respect, but he's a rough guy, smart guy, very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said, I just paid $88. And in New York, I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on?
Oh, God.
He said, so I checked. And it's the same box, made in the same plant, by the same company. It's the identical pill that I buy in New York. And here I'm paying $88 in London. In New York, I'm paying $1,300. Now, this is a great businessman, but he's not familiar with this crazy situation that we have. But he was stunned. But it was just one of those stories. And I brought it up with the drug companies, represented by somebody who's very, very smart, good person too. And we argued about it for about half hour. And then finally he just said, because they can't justify it, he just said, look, you got me.
Oh, shit.
You got me. I can no longer they've been justifying this crap for years. They said, oh, it's research and development. Well, I said, well, research and development, other countries should pay research and development too. It's for their benefit. It was just one of those things. And the other countries would set a price and they'd meet the price and they'd say, if you don't meet the price, you can't sell it in our country. I said, well, then you walk away and, they'll call you back and they'll sell it in the country. But now they'll have to do that. So for the first time in many years, we'll slash the cost of prescription drugs and we will bring fairness to America. Drug prices will come down by much more, really, if you think 59. If you think of a drug that is sometimes 10 times more expensive, it's much more than the 59%. It depends on the way you want to analyze it. But in one way, you could analyze it that way. But between 59 and 80, and I guess even 90%. So when I worked so hard in the first term, and if I got prices down, remember, I was the only one to ever get prices down for a full year. But I'd get them down like 2%, and I thought it was like a big deal. Well, we're getting them down 60, 70, 80, 90%. But
this is so good. This is so epic, and this is going to help out so many middle class and lower class folks, y'all. This is something that has been sorely, sorely needed in this country. Just like, this is amazing. This is historic stuff. This stuff will have chapters in the history books if the right people are writing the history books. Just absolutely fantastic. I am giddy with this news. Honestly, it's fucking great. Max says, besides antibiotics, Big Pharma doesn't cure. They manage symptoms to keep people coming back. Many of those symptoms caused by Big Pharma and Big Food. Yep. I agree.
Actually, more than that, if you think about it in the way mathematically. And Pharma has to say, we're sorry, but we'll not be able to do this any longer to these countries that have been so tough. They've been very tough, nasty. It's trade. And Pharma is also very powerful. And the Democrats have protected Pharma. The Democrats have protected Pharma. These are the Democrats. And by the way, I just called the Speaker of the House, and I just called the leader, our leader in the Senate, John Thune, Mike Johnson. Spoke to both of them. I said, when you score, you're going to have to score two things. You're going to have to, number one, score that hundreds of billions of dollars of tariff money is coming in.
Mm.
But even bigger than that, you're going to have to score that your cost for Medicaid and Medicare and just basically pharmaceuticals and drugs is going down at a level that nobody has ever seen before. It'll pay for the Golden Dome. I see the Golden Dome is there, see? That'll easily pay for the Golden Dome.
Mhm.
And we'll have a lot of money left over. We need the Golden Dome, by the way, in this world. Although this world's a lot safer today than it was a week ago, and a lot safer than it was 6 months ago. We had people that had no clue what they were doing. So today, Americans spend 70% more for prescription drugs than we spent in the year 2000. Think of that. Our country has the highest drug prices anywhere in the world by sometimes a factor of 5, 6, 7, 8 times. It's not like they're slightly higher. They're 6, 7, 8 times. There are even cases of 10 times higher. So that you go 10 times more expensive for the same drug, that's big numbers. Even though the United States is home to only 4% of the world's population, pharmaceutical companies make more than 2/3 of their profits in America. So think of that. With 4% of the population, the pharmaceutical companies make most of their money, most of their profits from America. That's not a good thing. Now, I think, by the way, I have great respect for these companies and for the people that run them. I really do. And I think they did one of the greatest jobs in history for their company, convincing people for many years that this was a fair system. And nobody really understood why, but I figured it out. For years, pharmaceutical and drug companies have said that research and development costs were what they are, and for no reason whatsoever.
Yep.
They had to be borne by America alone. Not anymore, they don't. This means American patients were effectively
Not
subsidizing
Cuba.
socialist healthcare systems in Germany, in all parts of the European Union. They were the toughest of all. They were nasty. And I see that. I see that with trade, too. European Union is in many ways nastier than China.
See you, Bold.
Okay?
Rest well, man.
And
We're getting busy.
we've just started with
Getting
them.
busy. Oh, no.
Oh, they'll come down a lot. You watch. We have all the cards. They treated us very
Get after
unfairly.
it, sir.
They sell us 13 million cars. We sell them none. They sell us their agricultural products. We sell them virtually none. They don't take our products. That gives us all the cards,
Mhm.
and very unfair. So they're going to have to pay more for health care, and we're going to have to pay less. That's all it is. And believe it or not, because it's really the world we're talking about, not just the European Union, but because it's the world, the numbers are for the healthcare company not as bad as you would think. They'll make the same. I think the healthcare companies should make pretty much the same money. I really don't believe they should be affected very much because it's just a redistribution of wealth. It's a redistribution where
Uh-oh.
it could be the same top line, but it's going to be distributed differently. Europe's going to have to pay a little bit more. The rest of
We
the
all know
world's
you're
going to have to
joking
pay a
around,
little bit
Wise
more,
Elk.
and
You're
America's
good.
going to pay a lot less. Again, because it's a much smaller
Sam Duty was
population than
playing too.
when you think of the whole world. So basically, what we're doing is equalizing. There's a new word that I came up with, which I think is probably the best
It's
word.
not
We're
a
gonna
new word,
equalize.
Trump. Bad Trump. Bad. Bad Trump. You did not come up with the word equalize, sir. There was a whole couple of movies called The Equalizer. All right? Bad Trump. You did not create a new word, sir. No. No, sir. Gotta correct the Trump. Gotta correct President Trump on that one. That is not your word. I have the best words. I just made equalize. All right? I just created that word. It was unthought of, unknown, equalize. We're gonna equalize things. Why? Why? Why would you say that? Fucking God. Oh, shit. Damn it, Trump. Created a new application for the word. You missed history, Harry Toe, and there is a dirty, dirty slanderous, well, I guess libelous, we told liberish, and not good. Libelous statement from Wise Elk. He said that the toe wasn't actually that hairy toe too. Thanks for filling out that survey, though. Awesome, dude. You and your bald toes, hairy toe. Been living a lie. Wise Elk, he knows. Equalize. Give some bass then.
Where we're all going to pay the same. We're going to pay what Europe's going to pay. We're going to all pay. Now, there may be some countries in dire need, and I would be willing to sacrifice that, but and help them.
Everybody cringed behind him.
But it's called most favored nation. We are going to pay the lowest price there is in the world.
This here.
We will get whoever is paying the lowest price. That's the price that we're going to get. So remember that. So we're no longer paying 10 times more than another country. Whoever is paying the lowest price, we will look at that price and we will say that's the price we're going to pay. Most favored nations. That's what it is. One breast cancer drug costs Americans over $16,000 per bottle.
Jesus.
But the same drug from the same factory, manufactured by the same company, is 1/6 that price in Australia and 1/10 that price in Sweden. 1/10 for the identical product. A common asthma drug costs almost $500 here in America, but costs less than $40 in the United Kingdom. So
that disparity is horrendous. Pure evil. Pure evil. Ooh. It's pure evil. I agree. Give me a second. I got a sound for that. Where did it go? I haven't used this one in a while. But you've brought it out. Yeah, I would agree. This disparity is pure evil.
Evil!
There you go. Literally designed to rob us. Yes. Yes, indeed.
So $40 in the United Kingdom, which is where this gentleman told me he paid a small amount for his shot. But think of that. So $40 versus $500 here. That's not even bad. There are much worse examples. And the weight loss drug, Ozempic, costs 10 times more in the United States than in the rest of the developed world. 10 times more. Why? What did we do? Suckers. But we never had a president that had the courage to do this. And nobody knew the system like I do. I mean, I've gotten to know this system so well. And I don't think it's fair that it benefits Obamacare. Obamacare is a failure. It's not a good health care. It works. I made it work. I had an obligation to make it work, or an obligation to let it die. I chose that we had to make it work. I had to make it as good as possible. And I had a choice. I could have let it fail or make it as good as possible. As good as possible means it was still not very good, but it survived. And we did the right thing. But this makes everything work. And I don't want to have a bad form of healthcare work because of the fact I was able to cut drug prices by 80 or 90%. So we're going to maybe come up with something. I think this gives the Republicans a chance to actually do a healthcare that's much better than Obamacare and for less money, which if you guys would work on that along with Congress. But I do want to say that Democrats could have done this a long time ago. They have fought like hell for the drug companies, and they knew they were doing the wrong thing. And it's going to be very hard. I was just telling the leader and the speaker that it's going to be very hard for the Democrats to vote against the one big, beautiful deal. The greatest tax cuts in history, greatest everything. But now you have the big drug prices because that's going to be included. It makes that whole situation different from a scoring standpoint. I just told them, I called them up about this. I said, I'm going to do something that's going to be very monumental, and you're going to be scoring. You better tell your people that this is going to score really well. And then add
Battlestar Galactica is great. It's good. That's one with Kevin. Wait. No. I'm thinking of Andromeda. Andromeda with Kevin Sorbo. That one, I started watching that the other day. Hilarious. I didn't notice all the jokes, all the adult humor from Kevin Sorbo, by the way. But it's great. Andromeda was fantastic. I don't know if I ever actually watched Battlestar Galactica. Always heard good things. Need to continue. I've been watching Stargate, actually. Still in the first season.
Add hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs to your list also. But as big as the tariffs are, this is something that really hits quickly.
Very.
5 years ago, I signed an executive order to confront this disaster, but only confront it in a minor way. It was a good confrontation, but never to this extent. And it took people a little while to understand a very complicated system. But Joe Biden, without any knowledge of what he was doing, terminated the policy and then pretended to negotiate under a new system. And then you take a look, 5 out of the 10 drugs that he negotiated are now over 200% more expensive in America than the rest of the world, and far more expensive than when he even got involved.
It's horrendous.
Much more expensive than when he got involved. Joe
chart.
Biden's plan was
Jardiance over here.
as you know, because you wrote about it.
I take
you
that.
don't say it very loudly, but it was a very big failure, was his whole presidency. First, I'm directing the U.S. trade representatives and Department of Commerce to begin investigations into foreign nations that extort drug companies by blocking their products unless they accept bottom line and very low dollar amounts for their product, unfairly shifting the cost burden onto American patients. And we'll be taking a look at that very strongly. The biggest thing we're going to do is we're going to tell those countries, like those
Cool thing about the first couple episodes of the Stargate series, boobies. There were boobies involved. I forgot about that. Indeed.
represented by the European Union, that that game is up. Sorry. And if they want to get cute, then they don't have to sell cars into the United States anymore.
Don't get cute.
It's a very big subject. And
Quite ugly.
they won't get cute, because I'll defend the drug companies from that standpoint. They were given a price by the European unions and other countries. This is what you do. This is what we're going to pay. We're not going to pay any more. Let America pay the difference, because there was a big shortfall. Let America pay it. And that's what we did, but we're not doing it anymore. Next, my administration will secure what we're calling most
That's the word,
favored
Sterling.
nations
That's
drug
the word.
pricing. The principle is simple. Whatever the lowest price paid for a drug in other developed countries, that is the price that Americans will pay. And we're using the term other developed countries because there are some countries that need some additional help, and that's fine. I think that's very good. Some prescription drug and pharmaceutical prices will be reduced almost immediately by 50 to 80 to 90%. Big Pharma will either abide by this principle voluntarily or will use the power of the federal government to ensure that we are
Indeed,
paying
Daniel
the same
Jackson.
price as other countries. To accelerate these price restrictions and reductions, my administration will also cut out the middlemen. We're going to totally cut out the famous middlemen. Nobody knows who they are. Middlemen. I've been hearing the term for 25 years. Middlemen. I don't know who they are, but they're rich. That I can tell you. We're going to cut out the middlemen and facilitate the direct sale of drugs at the most favored nation price directly to the American citizen. So we're cutting out, Bobby, the middlemen. It's so important, right? You got to do that. They're worse than the drug companies. They don't even make a product, and they make a fortune.
Yep.
It's very smart business people, that I can tell you. If companies make no significant progress toward most favored nation pricing, which we will insist that they do, so I think I'm wasting time talking about it. We're going to insist upon it. And we'll insist, and we're going to help the drug companies with the other nations, because those other nations do a lot of trading with us. They need our trade, just like China needed us very badly. They need us just as badly. We will do whatever we have to with trade, just like we did some great things with trade with India and Pakistan. It really helped the situation, very heated situation. Could have lost millions of people, more than millions. I mean, many millions of people. And they want to do business with America, but we never used our powers that way. We never knew how. We never had people that knew how to do that. We'll also open up America's market to safe and legal imports of affordable drugs from other countries, putting dramatic downward pressure on prices. And if necessary, we'll investigate the drug companies, and we'll, in particular, investigate the countries that are doing this, and we will add it onto the price that we charge them for doing business in America. In other words, we'll add it on to tariffs if they don't do what is right, which is everybody should equalize. Everybody should pay the same price.
It's my word.
Special interests
Equalize.
may not like this very much, but the American people will. I am doing this for the American people. I'm doing this against the most powerful lobby in the world, probably the drug lobby, drug and pharmaceutical lobby. But it's one of the most important orders, I think, that's ever been signed, certainly with regard to health care or health in the history of our country. And it's an honor to be a part of it. And
Let's hope we get some stuff backing it up. Like, let's get some stuff back, some law backing this up. That would be fantastic. And oh my goodness, turning the chat blue. What is up, Ken Aiden? Thank you so much for that $1 Rumble rant. Absolutely amazing. Noise warning, guys. Noise warning. It's about to get loud with this sound, but we turned the chat blue, so we got to play the sound. Turn the volume down if you favor your ears, I suppose, depending on your sound system. Thank you so much for that donation, bud. Appreciate you. Whoops. That's all it was. Whoops. Yes, indeed.
And I'd like to ask Robert F. Kennedy to say a few words, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is an extraordinary day. This is an issue that, I grew up in the Democratic Party, and every major Democratic leader for 20 years has been making this promise to the American people. This was the fulcrum of Bernie Sanders' runs for presidency, that he was going to eliminate this discrepancy between Europe and the United States. But as it turns out, none of them were doing it. It's one of these promises that politicians make to their constituents, knowing that they'll never have to do it. And the reason they'll never have to do it is because they know that Congress...
That is a Beast Wars. That is a Beast Wars call out. Yes. Predacons. Holy crap. Is that Beast Wars? Yeah, it was Beast Wars with the Predacons. The purple Tyrannosaurus Rex Megatron and the Optimus Prime Gorilla. Those are some good Transformers toys, by the way. Beast Wars. I watch that shit all the time. Cheetor. Man, 90s. 90s. You can pull a file in your DAW and half the volume. Well, I mean, some people think it's too loud. I think some people's audio systems are a little bit more sensitive. I just give the warning out there because I think Trish said that hers picked up really, really well on that. Yes, Beast Wars was the shit. I loved that in the 90s. I remember watching that before school in the morning. God, that was good. I'd wake up earlier so I could watch more of Beast Wars before school. Great 90s nostalgia right there.
Is controlled in so many ways by the pharmaceutical industry.
My brother,
there's at least one pharmaceutical lobbyist for every congressman, every senator in Capitol Hill, and every member of the Supreme Court. By some estimates, 3. Pharmaceutical companies, the industry itself spends 3 times what the next largest lobbyist spends on lobbying. So this was an issue that people talked about, but nobody wanted to do anything because it was radioactive. They knew you couldn't get it by Congress. We now have a president who is a man of his word, who has the courage.
Your email
President Trump was taking money from the pharmaceutical industry too. I think they gave you $100 million, but he can't be bought, unlike most of the politicians in this country. And he is standing here for the American people. I don't know what, there's writers like Lord Elizabeth Warren or Robert Reich who are saying that President Trump is on this side of the oligarchs. There has never been a president more willing to stand up to the oligarchs than President Donald Trump. And I'm very, very proud of you, Mr. President, for your courage, I'll say, because I don't want to be crude, your intestinal fortitude.
Yeah, he said you got
your
big balls.
stiff spine, and your willingness to stand up for the American people. We have 4.2% of the world's population. Our country represents 75% of the revenues for pharmaceutical companies. we spend in our country $1,126 per capita on drugs.
I want to be like
In
RFK
Britain,
Jr.
they
when I
spend
grow
about
up.
240. They spend 1/5 of what we do. And this is true across Europe. And the drug companies, Europeans, if you ask them, they make no sense what they're saying. America has to pay for this innovation or it's not going to happen. What President Trump is saying to our European partners is you got to raise the amount that you're paying for those drugs and pay for your share of the innovation. That the United States is no longer subsidizing that. If the Europeans raise the price of their drugs by just 20%, that is $10 trillion that can be spent on innovation, and the health of all people all across the globe is going to increase because we're going to have better products. So I'm just so grateful to be here today. I never thought that this would happen in my lifetime. I have a couple of kids who are Democrats, are big Bernie Sanders fans. And when I told them that this was going to happen, they had tears in their eyes because they thought this is never going to happen in our lifetime. And we finally have a president who's willing to stand up for the American people. Thank you. And Dr. Oz.
Thank you, Secretary Kennedy. This is the most powerful executive order on pharmacy pricing and healthcare ever in the history of our nation. And it's only happening because we have a president with the fortitude, the guts to stand up to the withering criticism and lobbying that's going to occur as soon as folks hear about the executive order. So on behalf of the child in Philadelphia who's got an autoimmune disease with a $1,000 a month drug, or the older woman in Los Angeles who's on a blood thinner who can't afford her copay, I want to thank President Trump. God bless you for having the guts to take on this industry. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
So let's talk about the details a little bit. And this is primarily about equalization, as President Trump said. It's about fairness. Think of NATO as a metaphor. When President Trump said, you've got to pay a little more so it makes sense for all of us, they came up. And the European countries contributed. The same thing we believe will happen in this situation. Most people who have thought about this process agree that it is patently unfair to tolerate the numbers that Secretary Kennedy and President Trump have reflected to you. On this chart to my left is a list of the 10 drugs that were negotiated in the IRA. Again, this is the bill, the law that regulates a negotiation process. This is the best price that was able to be obtained by the Biden administration. And if you look at these numbers, they actually reflect how much on top of the most favored nation price was being paid by the United States. So the closest to me, Bob, you can point to the Jardiance, the closest one, 289%, the one that's closest to you. That means that we are paying in America 4 times more than that drug costs in other countries. Again, 100% is the baseline. It's 289% above that baseline. It goes all the way down to when we're paying 50% more than any other country. That's the range. As was pointed out by President Trump, half the time we're paying 3 times more than is paid in other countries. It doesn't make any sense for the system. That stated, President Trump has over and over again indicated.
God, I did not realize how impressed I would be with Dr. Oz's presentation. But this dude, and what is his? He's from Pennsylvania, isn't he? Or is that is that a Boston accent, or is that Philadelphia? I guess maybe. But his presentation is solid, just very, just got just freaking gruff, but professional at the same time. I like it.
And Secretary Kennedy reflected as well. We want innovation. We want our technology partners doing the best they can to make the best solutions for drugs to cure as many people in America and around the world as possible. By getting our allies to pay a bit more, as they should be, and they should have for many years been doing, will course correct a problem that's gotten out of hand. And by doing that in a thoughtful, effective way, we're going to be able to get the pharmaceutical industry whole. Those jobs will still be here, will still be productive, will still be curing cancer and a slew of other ailments that plague humanity. America will still be the leader in this space, but we'll be paying the appropriate amount, the right-sized amount for those tasks. So over the next 30 days, the 4 of us up here together with people standing in the back of this room who are doing a lot of the heavy lifting, are going to be approaching pharmaceutical companies to talk specifically about what we want the most favored nation price to be based on the best data we have. We're looking forward to a thoughtful interaction with these corporate leaders, many of whom we've spoken to and in quiet will agree the system is not right the way it is. They're patriotic Americans. They want what's right.
Yeah, I like his off the cuff, his more conversational approach compared to reading off a script. This is palatable. Like, that dude could be, I mean, I know he ran for a Senate seat in Pennsylvania, right? Dude comes across well. I like this Dr. Oz better than the one that was on TV for sure.
Right. But the fact that in my lifetime, as Secretary Kennedy said, for the first time, we have a thoughtful and aggressive approach, thanks to President Trump, on taking on the special interests, should give all Americans confidence that this is an administration that stands for fairness, and it should chill the waters for those who believe they can push us away from our North Star, which is to take care of the American people. Mr. President, God bless you.
Thank you.
Jay, you want to go next?
Sure. So I teach economics at Stanford as well as health policy. And one thing that's really, really simple in economics is that when you have a persistent price difference for the same product between two countries, there is something deeply wrong. And what President Trump has done is a historic measure that should have been done a long time ago. What we're going to do is make sure that those prices become much closer to equal, like a competitive market you'd expect. Right now, what's happening is the American people are subsidizing
He said, use my word, Jay, say my word, equalize. I'm the only one that can say it, but I'm giving you permission to say equalize, Jay. You can say my word. Thing is, there's probably going to be a fucking media story about him saying that it was his word. There's probably going to be a fucking story. This seriously though, this is one of the most impactful fucking press conferences I think this is great. See you, Harry Toe. Rest well. Thanks so much for joining this episode. And if you have not smashed that like button yet, Harry Toe too, potentially Harry Toe, I've heard a rumor, then smash that like button, sir. You're the one that forgets.
In large fraction, the research and development efforts for drug companies around the world by the higher prices that we pay. With this new order, Europe will share the burden of that. And in fact, if you may think of it as like as somehow it's like it's going after drug companies.
Why is Bill Clinton's book bigger? The first one over here. Why is it bigger? It's bugging me. All the other books are about the same size, but William Jefferson Clinton has a 1, and then the other one, I guess 1 and 2. Volume 1, volume for the first presidency, second presidency. So maybe their achievements during their administrations. Is that what this line of books behind him is? It's hiding Trump's books. I mean, I don't know what those are, but yeah. You're hooked on chocolate chip cookies? Nah, I do love me some chocolate chip cookies as well. Yes.
It's helping drug companies, because what we're also going to do with this order, what President Trump has done with this order, is he's said to European governments, look, if you are taking advantage of the drug companies by forcing them to charge very, very low prices, we're going to defend American drug companies in Europe. At the same time, we're standing up for the American consumer who's been paying far too high prices for far too long.
Yes,
I can go back.
Like, that's the reason we're doing watching. That's the reason we're watching it with you guys. I think this is literally a legendary press conference. Like, this press conference we're watching history, guys. I cannot state it more succinctly. Fucking history. This is important shit. Like, just amazing. And the fact that it's not getting more attention from the, corporate faggots in the media is telling. And the fact that people are actually trying to spin this in a negative way, fucking sad. But you know what? We're not going to let them rain on our parade. We got white pills, baby. White fucking pills today. It's going to be a great day.
Decades to point to congressional reports after government report after government report of tremendously high drug prices, much higher than the rest of the world. And nothing has been done about it until this moment. And I'm really, really proud, President Trump, that you have done this. I'm really proud to be included in this and looking forward to the work ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the many doctors I've talked to about this very issue, thank you for taking the bull by the horns. Presidents on both sides of the aisle have talked about this and floated it and said they've wanted it.
Based on their nonverbals and how they like their facial expressions when they're talking to each other, I feel like all these guys have a fucking fun time when they're just talking in the room. Like, that's the vibe that I get from these guys. This is the fucking, like, medical Avengers, y'all. They're fucking taking on Big Pharma. Big Pharma is S.H.I.E.L.D.
To do it. So you've had the courage to do it. Thank you. I've been a surgical oncologist at Johns Hopkins for 22 years, and I have seen patients suffer. We didn't take an oath to heal patients and then watch their life get ruined financially with their home, mortgage, retirement, going down the drain with GoFundMe campaigns, raising money from church communities and synagogues and friends they haven't seen in 20 years to try to raise money for what? For a system where Americans have been getting ripped off?
Yes.
By 10, 12, 15 times higher prices than we see in other countries. The fundamental problem in healthcare is that we've had non-competitive markets. We can do little things around the edges, or we can transform those markets to competitive markets. And that's what this executive order does today. Imagine buying a Ford for $175,000, a regular car, and then hearing that people in London are buying it for $10,000 every day, all day long. That is the craziness of this system. We're going to do everything we can.
He is the gatekeeper.
The FDA to support this executive order. It's transformative. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So thank you very much, everybody. It's I think it's a very important day. In many ways, you have.
I don't know what to do.
We'll start with the Houthis. We go to Pakistan and India. We go to what we did with China, the trade deal, and with UK. And by the way, many other deals are coming in very much. At a certain point, we'll just set the price because we know where we are. But we'll just set the price. But world trade is going to be terrific, and our country is going to be making a lot of money. Taxes are going to go down. Taxes are going to go down very, very substantially. But you look at all of the things that we've done, and now today I'm heading over. We'll see what we're going to do with respect to Iran. I think you have very good things happening there too, by the way. I think
it is so cool to see the movement that he is making with the actually working with the Middle East. Pray for his safety. That's all I'm saying. Pray for his safety. He's going after them. He's going after Big Pharma. He's going after conventional dealings in the Middle East and not involving necessarily certain individuals, BB, that I feel Benjamin Netanyahu is influenced by demonic forces. That's my opinion. I think he is a shill that wants World War III. I think he is an evil son of a bitch that has needed to be put in his fucking place by the United States for fucking decades. And I'm glad to see that I think Trump's finally at that point. Let the Israeli people vote for somebody else, BB. What are you so scared of, buddy? That maybe the Israeli people don't actually fucking like you?
Can't have a nuclear weapon, but I think that they are talking intelligently. We're in the midst of talking to them, and they're right now acting very intelligent. We want Iran to be wealthy and wonderful and happy and great, but they can't have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. So I think they understand that I mean business, and
what's up, Sangland?
I think they're being very reasonable thus far. And don't underestimate Thursday in Turkey. President Erdogan is going to be a great host, and we are doing some work with him having to do with Syria too, by the way. We're going to have to make a decision on the sanctions, which we may very well relieve. We may take them off of Syria because we want to give them a fresh start. But President Erdogan's asked me about that. Many people have asked me about that because the way we have them sanctioned, it doesn't really give them much of a start. So we want to see if we can help them out. So we'll make that determination. But I think you're going to have maybe a good meeting. You have the potential for a good meeting, that a meeting wasn't going to take place. I insisted that that meeting take place. and it is taking place. And I think you may have a good result out of the Thursday meeting in Turkey between Russia and Ukraine. And I believe the two leaders were going to be there. I was thinking about flying over. I don't know where I'm going to be on Thursday. I've got so many meetings, but I was thinking about actually flying over there. There's a possibility of it, I guess, if I think things can happen. But we got to get it done. We got to save 5,000 lives a week. 5,000 lives is really more than that. It's worse than that.
Yeah.
And when you see and you don't want to see it, but when you see the satellite photographs of the battlefield with arms and legs and heads all over the place, separated by 30 yards from bodies,
It doesn't need to be like that.
Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So we're working very hard to see if we can end that bloodbath. Okay, there shouldn't be too many questions. It's been covered pretty well.
Mr. President, thank you for taking questions. Two quick ones for you. Starting on trade. If a longer-term deal is not reached with China at the end of these 90 days, can the American people expect those tariffs to go back up to 145%?
No, but they would go up substantially higher.
Okay. And then on
at 145, you're really decoupling because nobody's going to buy. But they can go, they got very high because of additional tariffs I applied during the course because of fentanyl and other things. But no, but they'd go substantially higher. Yeah.
And then on Qatar, Mr. President.
I think you will have a deal, however.
You're confident that there will be a deal. On Qatar, has Qatar asked for anything in exchange for that $400 million luxury jumbo jet? And how can the American people be so sure that they will not in the future?
Well, I think what happens with the plane is that, we're very disappointed that it's taking Boeing so long to build a new Air Force One. We have an Air Force One that's 40 years old. And if you take a look at that compared to the new plane of the equivalent, stature at the time, it's not even the same ballgame. You look at some of the Arab countries and the planes they have parked alongside of the United States of America plane. It's like from a different planet. And it's close to 40 years old, might be more than 40 years old now. And we, when I first came in, I signed an order to get it built. I took it over from the Obama administration. They had originally agreed. I got the price down much lower. And then when the election didn't exactly work out the way that it should have, a lot of work was not done on the plane because a lot of people didn't know. They made change orders that were so stupid, so ridiculous. And it ended up being a total mess, a real mess. And when I came back, I said, by the way, what's going on with the Boeings that are coming in? Well, sir, they're way behind. And they are. They're way behind. They were way behind. Mm-hmm. Another mess that I inherited from Biden. And it's going to be a while before we get them. And I think Qatar, who we've helped them a lot over the years in terms of security and safety.
Benny Shap, he says Trump shouldn't even talk to Qatar. He says it's disgusting. It's vile that you would even talk to Qatar. And that right there shows you that Ben Shapiro is a shill for everything that is un-American. Because even if you are an enemy, you have to be able to talk and have diplomacy and try to do some wheeling and dealing. Either that or you go scorched earth. And Benny Shap, are you going to be on the front lines when the draft comes, buddy? No, you aren't. But the poors will be. And that's what Ben Shapiro wants. He's just fine sacrificing all the young men and women of this country to make sure that Israel is always number one. That's a problem. That makes you a traitor to this country, in my opinion. Fuck you, Ben Shapiro.
Very, very nicely. And I have a lot of respect for the leadership and for the leader, Qatar. And I think they knew about it because they buy Boeings. They buy a lot of Boeings. And they knew about it. And they said, we would like to do something. And if we can get a 747 as a contribution to our Defense Department to use during a couple of years while they're building the other ones, I think that was a very nice gesture. Now, I could be a stupid person and say, oh, no, we don't want a free plane. We give free things out. We'll take one, too. And it helps us out. Because, again, we're talking about we have 40-year-old aircraft.
Don't forget to
follow the money we spend, the maintenance we spend on those planes to keep them tippy-top is astronomical. You wouldn't even believe it. So I think it's a great gesture from Qatar. I appreciate it very much. I would
Shapiro.
never be one to turn down
Shapiro.
that kind of an offer. I mean, I could be a stupid person and say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane. But I thought it was a great gesture. And I think it was a gesture because of the fact that we have helped and continue to, we will continue to, all of those countries, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, and others, we keep them safe. If it wasn't for us, they probably wouldn't exist right now.
Yep.
And I think this was just a gesture of good
Ooh.
faith.
Ooh.
And
so
I don't get it.
He said Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE probably wouldn't exist right now if it wasn't for the United States. Who would have been the one taking them out? Huh? Interesting. That's an interesting comment right there.
Someday it'll be like Ronald Reagan. They decommission them. They get to a certain age, they decommission them. It'll go to my library. They're talking about going to my library in years out. But I thought it was a great gesture. And it's something that was done by Ronald Reagan. They actually decommissioned the plane and he put it in his library. And it actually has made the library, I think, a Boeing 707. It's actually made the library more successful. So it was good.
Do you plan to use the plane after you leave office?
No, I don't. No, it would go directly to the library after I leave office. I wouldn't be using it. No.
Mr. President, on the hostage, you said that the release of the American hostage, Edan Alexander, is a step in good faith to end this war. Do you expect any progress or perhaps announcement on ceasefire during your trip to the Middle East?
We hope that we're going to have other hostages released too, as you know. So when I met with the hostages 3 weeks ago that were there for quite a while, you remember the 10 people that came in, mostly young people. 1 or 2 were a little bit older. They were explaining the trials and tribulations. I mean, they went through hell. And I said, how many are there? They said 59. I said, that's a lot. I didn't realize, because we got a lot out. We got a lot of hostages out, I think you will acknowledge. They said 59, but then they said, they followed that up by saying 59, of which 24 are living, the rest are dead. But the people whose mostly son, I think 1 daughter. And
Trump's had lens replacement surgery. He's had his lens worked on. If you look at his left eye every now, at least in his left eye, every now and then you see a little flash of a reflection. That's a lens replacement.
This case, but mostly sons are there, or husbands are there. Those people want the dead bodies as much as they want the live body. I have a mother that calls me, but came up to me when I first met her, and she said, sir, please get my son out. He's dead, but they have his body. And I asked her about that, and it's as though he were alive. The level of wanting that body back is the same. It couldn't be any more, as though he were alive. So, getting the bodies back is very important. That could be a thing having to do with the religion. It could be same. I was amazed at the level of importance. It's the same as if the son or husband or whatever was alive. So they said 59. In fact, they came in with a number 59 written out on like a sign on their chest. They came to thank me for getting them out. And I said, what does the 59 mean? They said, well, that means there are 59 people. But then they said, but 24 are living. Now it's 21. The number's 21. So now it's actually, we'll get Edan today. We think we're getting him today. So it's 20. So they have 20 live hostages there. The rest are dead bodies.
Yes.
Mr. President, are you open to negotiating your tariffs on cars, steel, and aluminum with China or any other country?
Well, we're not even talking about that. We're bringing the car business back into this country. We have commitments, and not only commitments, they've already started construction on many plants. They've left Mexico in a few cases. In a few cases, they've left Canada. They're not going to build in Canada. They're going to build here because we have the market, and the tariffs have been amazing. The election and the tariffs. November 5th was a big day, and on top of that, of course, you wouldn't have the tariffs without the election, I guess, if you look at it. But we have at least 11 committed massive car factories that are going to be built, that are in the process of being built. And some are going, some have actually started. We also have renovations of existing factories where they weren't utilizing the full factory from years gone by.
It matters.
And now they're under full renovation. They'll be opening up full factories in a very short period of time. Our car industries, I think we're going to have the number one industry. You know, if you look at Japan and these others, they do tremendously with cars. And
there you go.
And they can do that too. But you know, if they want to sell cars in the United States, they're going to have to build factories in the United States, because I'm interested in cars for the United States. Now, one other thing is, in our tax bill, we're giving not only no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, but also we're going to get a deduction for people that borrow money to buy a car if it's made in America. If it's not, we have no interest.
On the meeting with between President Putin as well as President Zelensky, if President Putin doesn't show up to these talks in person in Turkey, will you join Europe in putting higher sanctions on
If I felt it would be important toward getting the deal done, I'm the one that insisted on the meeting. They couldn't get a meeting because one said ceasefire, one said no ceasefire. It was going back and forth. I said, look, at this point, we got to stop it. Just go to the meeting. The meeting's been set. Go to the meeting on Thursday. And if I thought it would be helpful, I don't know where I'm going to be at that particular point. I'll be someplace in the Middle East, but I would fly there if I thought it would be helpful. Yeah, please.
Refugees. I want to ask you about South African refugees. Dozens of Afrikaners who claim discrimination in their home country are heading to the United States, where your administration is going to welcome them as refugees. Now, this comes as you've halted virtually all refugee missions for people fleeing famine and war from countries like Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Why are you creating an expedited path into the country for Afrikaners but not others?
Because they're being killed, and we don't want to see people be killed. Now, South Africa leadership is coming to see me, I understand, sometime next week. And, we're supposed to have I guess a G20 meeting there or something, but we're having a G20 meeting. I don't know how we can go unless that situation's taken care of, but it's a genocide that's taking place.
Yes, whites are absolutely being genocided in South Africa. The fact that the media can't acknowledge that is fucking disgusting. The fact that the media asks with confusion and with a bewilderment that you would accept the white South Africans when they're not accepting refugees from other countries. There's a difference there, you fucking retards. There's a difference in a bunch of people coming from third world shitholes that don't have very many skills, that just want to fucking have a free ride, and people that are actually being fucking killed because of their goddamn race. This is absolutely a genocide. It's absolutely disgusting. They have stadiums that chant "kill the Boer." That means kill the white farmer. They rape. It's the baby rape capital of the fucking world. That is South Africa. Holy fucking shit. That culture shouldn't be allowed to persist. I'm absolutely okay with saying that. If you are the baby rape capital, that culture needs to be wiped the fuck out and replaced with something a little bit more, I don't know, Western and European, that is influenced by maybe Christian morals. Maybe just a fucking little bit. Either that, or maybe just stop fucking raping babies. Stop killing whites because they're fucking white. That's fucking disgusting. And the fact that the media is so fucking willfully blind to the plight of the whites in South Africa is a fucking travesty. It's a fucking travesty, and they should be ashamed of themselves, but they have no shame. Their overlords say it's okay and pat them on the head. That one pisses me off. That one really pisses me off. Yeah, some people that actually want to move here and fucking farm and do some like actual farming operations and shit. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that comes up, the refugee status is full of shit. There are people that are facing persecution for sure. And you look at it as a case-by-case basis. But in a lot of ways, it's economic refugees. That's not a refugee. That's figure your shit out in your country and make your country better, idiot. You don't get to claim refugee status because of economics. That's fucked. Oh God, your parents are in South Africa right now. I am. Are they allowed to have weapons? I heard the other day that apparently they don't allow whites in South Africa to have weapons. And I guess it depends on the parts of South Africa that you're in. But yeah,
that you people don't want to write about, but it's a terrible thing that's taking place. And farmers are being killed.
Exists.
They happen to be white, but whether they're white or black makes no difference to me. But white farmers are being brutally killed, and their land is being confiscated in South Africa. And the newspapers and the media, television media, doesn't even talk about it. If it were the other way around, they talk about it. That would be the only story they talk about.
Fucking
and
super
I don't care.
Fucking base. Thank God we have a president that actually gives a fuck. Thank God we have a president that gives a fuck about the damn plight of the whites when they're in the minority.
I don't care who they are. I don't care about their race, their color. I don't care about their height, their weight. I don't care about anything. I just know that what's happening is,
unless they're that billionaire friend with the fat shot, it's not working. It's not working. I care about his weight, not everybody else's.
It's terrible. I have people that live in South Africa. They say it's a terrible situation taking place. So we've essentially extended citizenship to those people and to escape from that violence and come here. Yeah.
Please. Mr. President, thank you. Are you letting China off the hook for these 90 days, and do you really believe that they will follow through with non-tariff barriers and remove those?
Non-monetary tariffs, yeah. Yeah, I think they're going to follow through. I think they want it very badly. I think they want the deal very badly. Again, this doesn't include the steel tariffs that I put on a long time ago that Biden tried to get off, but he couldn't get them off because it was too much money. You know, I took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China, what a lot of people don't know, but we put on the tariffs originally. And if I didn't do that, we wouldn't have a steel industry today. Now we have a thriving steel industry. It'll be thriving much more with what we're doing because this is the next level. But it doesn't include that, doesn't include cars, doesn't include pharmaceuticals when we do that. And the reason we're doing that will be to get them to come back in the country. You know, there are, again, I always say it because a lot of people forget, but if a company like Eli Lilly, which is making a massive investment in the United States right now, they're building many, many plants. They've already started like 7 of them, many plants, but they are not going to be tariffed. There's no tariff cost. So they're all doing that. They're all coming back to the United States. I mean, I'll tell you what, I hope I get the benefit of watching this because as president, because, you know, it takes a little while to do this stuff. And we're doing it early in the administration. If you think of it, we have, I believe, if you look at the real total, it's over $10 trillion committed for plants and factories. Other administrations haven't had $1 trillion over a 4-year period, even over an 8-year period. We have over $10 trillion committed in one form or the other over 2 months. Give me a break. I'm here to hear 3, but let's give me a break on the first month. We want to get acclimated. But, you know, but if you think about it, it's really 2 months. And so in 2 months, we have an investment already of over $10 trillion. And other presidents haven't had that done over a year, over 4 years in some cases. It's unprecedented. There's never been anything like it. It's a very exciting time in America. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
There it is.
Who's in charge of the budget bill while you're gone, sir?
Mr. President, are you ready to impose sanctions on Russia if Putin doesn't agree with the 30-day
I have a feeling they're going to agree. I do. I have a feeling.
And who's in charge of the budget bill?
Let's see what happens.
No European countries. Who's in charge of the budget bill negotiations?
Right there about
the budget bill negotiations are taking place. Who in your administration
the ones
is
from
in charge
South
of that
Africa,
while you're
the
gone?
white
Everybody,
white
Bobby, from the standpoint
they
of
speak English.
medical, this group behind me, I mean, I think it's the best group ever assembled in terms of medical. I think you're going to see a tremendous cut. I don't think, I mean, I know you're going to see it in Medicaid and Medicare. That cut will be massive because drugs are 50, 60% of the cost. So Medicaid costs are going down and Medicare costs are going down because of what we're doing today.
This is history.
And there's no, it's not like, gee, well, maybe it won't happen. It's going to happen because the other countries have no choice. Now, the drug companies are going to have to say, listen.
Follow it up, Congress. Follow it up with legislation. Mike Johnson, stop being a bitch. Do the fucking work.
You don't pay more, we're not going to give you the drug, and they're willing to do that. So that's it. They have to. We have to equalize.
Mr. President, price controls.
Say it.
How do you respond to the fact that this?
It's not price control. No. What was price control is before.
Yep.
If you want to talk about price control, is what they were doing. Yep. They were making us pay. They set a price, and they said, "Here's what we're going to pay." and anything else charge America. Because at that time they had a very stupid president, and it really went crazy during the last 4 years. And remember this, the Democrats are the ones that allowed this to happen. They were the ones that were the protector of this pricing system. And I think it's going to be very hard. You'll have to ask Democrats, are they going to vote against the one great, big, beautiful deal that's being negotiated now, tax cuts, et cetera? We're now on top of the tax cuts and regulation cuts, all the things. Now
they speak English well, motherfucker. Wise elk. They speak English well. Bastard. I feel it. I get what you're saying. If you want Mike Johnson to do something, you'll have to elect a pimp. Someone's gonna have to get the powder on their hand. Come on, Trump. Where's that powder at? Oh, that could be memeable right there. That could be a meme. Yep. I'm gonna have to go back and make a meme out of this. This will happen. So I'm gonna put a plate of something in front of him. Yes.
How are you going to say that the price of your medicine is going down by 60, 70, 80%? You're going to vote against it? I think a lot of Democrats are going to be forced to do something that their leaders are going to beg them not to do, and that's vote for the bill. I don't see how they can vote against it. How can they vote against it when drugs and pharmaceuticals are going to be down 70, 80%? It's going to be very interesting.
Mr. President, what do you say to people who view that luxury jet as a personal gift to you? Why not leave it behind?
You're ABC fake news, right?
Why
Because
not?
only ABC, well, a few of you would. Let me tell you, you should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us, I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much. You know, there was an old golfer named Sam Snead. Did you ever hear him? He won 82 tournaments. He was a great golfer. And he had a motto, when they give you a putt, you say, thank you very much. You pick up your ball and you walk to the next hole. A lot of people are stupid. They say, no, I insist on putting it. And then they putt it and they miss it. And their partner gets angry at them. You know what? Remember that, Sam Snead. When they give you a putt, you pick it up and you walk to the next hole and you say, thank you very much.
Respectfully, sir, as a businessman, some people may look at this and say, have you ever been given a gift worth millions of dollars and did not receive
It's not a gift to me. It's a gift to the Department of Defense. And you should know better because you've been embarrassed enough, and so has your network. Your network is a disaster. ABC is a disaster.
Get them.
Here is the bill. Bobby, come on over here. Now you're talking about trillions and trillions.
Epic.
Thank you very much.
Freaking epic.
Mr. President, question about Turkey.
Thank you very much.
That's enough. You gave him enough, bud. Oh shit, he's giving it to Trump. No, they're gonna save that one. That's it. That's history. Good job, Mehmet. Dr. Oz came in clutch with the pin. So that right there, guys. That right there. I'm elated. I'm elated at this news, and I hope it will be. I hope it's going to be backed up by. I hope it'll be backed up by legislation, because without it, literally, Biden came in and got rid of the damn executive order that Trump had put in place about diabetes medication, because everything that was Trump had to go away. Everything that was Trump was bad. Everything. They can't help themselves. They are broken people, and if the people in your life are against this shit, they are fucking broken people. And honestly, there is a time when you must cut people off in certain ways. It is called the reprobate mind, a mind that is so full of sin and evil that it cannot be reached at the current time by good and light. The reprobate, truly reprobate, in that moment they're lost, and you can hope you can have that kind of crack in the door for them at some point. But if they are truly in that reprobate state, they will do nothing but bring you down. And I hate to be that way, but it's the truth. And yes, that is biblical, but it's true. It is true. What's up, Red Delta? Good to see you, bud. Southeast. Oh, you down in South Africa? Speak better English than Americans. Yeah. Oh man, that was amazing. Good Trump. Good, Trump. Except for the equalizer thing. Why would you do that? Why, sir? Why? Yes, absolutely. That right there. First of all, I'm just so happy that that's a thing that just happened. And then the executive order just yes. That's how I'm feeling right now. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Reprobation. Yeah. It's man, it's history, guys. Absolute history. And he talked about it a lot. He did a lot of weaving. You weave here, you weave there, you come back. That's what we do. We do a little weave. I saw a weave in Walmart today. It was I'd give it a 5.5 to 6 out of 10, honestly, on the quality of the weave. Had the blonde tips at the end. I don't understand that. And it's got to hurt your neck. That's heavy. It's a huge weave. It was like at least over half the height of the woman that had the weave in. All right. I don't get it. But God bless you. Great neck strength, I suppose. We have lots of South Africans who work here 9 months per year. Interesting. Oh, okay. You call them Southies? Nice. You like the equalize? He said it was his word he made up. Ah. Oh gosh. But he talked about a lot there. He did. He went from talking about the China deal, talked about Pakistan and India. Just so much was covered there. And we're at 2.5 hours in. My God. I didn't necessarily expect that, but I had many times that I needed to pause and talk and rant and discuss things. Yeah. They loved it. Hell yeah. I fucking don't blame them. They're being targeted based on their race. It's fucked up what happens to the whites in certain areas of the country, certain areas of the world. It's really fucked up. And people in America are so freaking stuck. We're just stuck in our own little bubble. And we think that the way it is in America is the way it is everywhere else. It's not the fucking case. Whites are absolutely a minority globally. People don't realize that. And regardless, why are you treating people differently and assaulting people and doing horrific things to people based on the color of their skin? Why? It's not okay. It's not okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Red Delta. It's growing back much quicker than I thought it would. We actually, if you didn't know, we had Cheddar Steve had a $250 Venmo donation that inspired the shavening. Thursday before last, Lady Dozer cut my hair and shaved it on stream. Shaved the head on stream. And so we've got a little over a week's worth of growth from a full shave. And yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised. Marxism is the worst. Emphasis on the U. Oh, man. But yes, we and I will be I have not sent it off yet, but the hair is getting donated to childrenwithhairloss.org. Need to get the address. Work takes up time during the day, guys. It does. But it is happening. Dirk gently with a slap to the beach. But Trump covered a lot of stuff. He covered talking about the prisoner being freed from Hamas, Edan Alexander. He's an Israeli American. And I mean, just so many wins. There's been so many wins, but corporate media in general, reporting on it, quite lacking. Quite lacking. All right, let's see. Did I post something on YouTube earlier? Yes, I did. A short. It was a short. It was like 20-something seconds or something like that. It was woodpeckers. Little family of woodpeckers. You know what? Let's go to YouTube for a second. Let's check it out. Why not? Show you guys my YouTube a woodpecker video. No, I don't want to be in Creator Studio. Wrong one. And then we're going to get into the story of Edan Alexander. We've got an article and we have a clip. We've got a clip from Ben Shapiro. He's not happy, guys. Not happy at all. It is definitely one of the best emojis ever, Lord Sterling. Definitely. Let's check it out. Just a second here. Got my live stream that nobody watches on YouTube. 38 subscribers on YouTube, 113 videos. Yes. Let's look at the YouTubes. I'm more oh, look at that. That's an old pic. Damn. That's a look right there, guys. That's a look. I think it's over in shorts. Yes, we have woodpeckers. 326 views. Why not? My shorts get views. Like 1,000 on Storm stuff. I have this tree has to go at some point. I have to cut this tree down. But I can't now. Guys, I can't. Because I have a lovely little family of woodpeckers living in this tree.
Got some lovely little family of woodpeckers. Look at that, Daddy Woodpecker's feeding the babies. Mommy Woodpecker, she's got food up there. She's chilling out up there. Nature. And yes, that tree has to come down. Slowly rotting away. A happy little woodpecker family.
There you go. There you go. That's on the YouTube. Little happy woodpecker family. Was I sharing my screen? I was sharing my screen, wasn't I? My mama said that alligators are angry, ornery, because they have all them teeth and ain't got no toothbrush. Yeah, there's a little stutter. There was a little stutter there, Sterling. I blame my children. God dang, I'm out of soda. Yes, woodpeckers. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into the next topic here. We are going to talk about Edan Alexander being freed from Hamas. Oh, look at that. Did we get a raid? No F Given raided the channel on pill.net. Oh, dang it. Chops ITMC. Good to see you, bud. Oh, look at that. No F's given. Thanks so much for joining over there on pill.net, y'all. Appreciate you. Don't forget to follow Red Pill and repost over there on pill.net. We got stickers. We got Sasquatch doing a little bit of a little cute wave there for y'all. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Dozer Den. Follow me on other places too. Rumble, BillDozer74. On X, at BillDozer74__. We're getting closer to 3,800 followers over there. Not sure why, but thank you to all the followers over there on the X. Good old X machine. Well, thanks, Sterling. Yes, family of woodpeckers. Can't cut the tree down now. We got the woodpeckers up there. Lady Dozer said that I should go ahead and cut it down, but then like cut that little, or when we do, cut it down, cut that log out, and then like put it on a post or something, or set it up at like a little treehouse for whatever birds may come next. So thanks for the red pill over there, No F Given. Thank you so much for that. All right. Cut it and they die in your yard. Don't cut it and they die in your house. I hope they don't get in my house. That would be unfortunate. I don't need the woodpeckers in my house. Let me see. All right. Oh, shit. Let me go back here real quick. So we have the story of Edan Alexander. He's been one of the American. He's Israeli American, and he's one of the hostages that they've had. And he was just released. And let me find. Good Lord, I've bookmarked far too many things. There it is. So should be reason to celebrate, right, Benny Shap? Right, Benny Shap. Should be reason to celebrate. We have an American that just got freed. Israeli American. You should be really happy, right, Benny Shap? But no, guys, Benny Shap is so frustrated because of how Trump actually had to deal with people and not actually involved. It didn't involve Israel, apparently. Benny Shap doesn't like that because Israel first, guys. Always Israel first when it comes to Benny Shap. And thank you so much over there on pill.net. No F Given for the can. $2. Bam. Appreciate the heck out of that donation. Thank you so much for that. You get a bacon sticker. It's a happy bacon sticker. Yes, indeed. Awesome. Thank you for the support. Yes, Benny Shap. Fuck him. The vibrations might kill him. Oh no. Oh no, yeah, I'm not gonna cut it down with them in it. I'll wait until they leave. I'll wait till the little woodpeckers are grown up and ready to go, because we're watching nature happen. Okay, this is some environmental science stuff for the kids. Teaching. So yeah, Luke Rudkowski. Hopefully he starts putting stuff on Rumble again. I don't know why they stopped live streaming. I guess he had some financial stuff with taxes and stuff like that, maybe. I don't know. That, or they were trying to work out a deal, but didn't make it happen. I don't know. It was a really good show, though. I loved listening to that in the afternoon. Early afternoon. But yes, Luke Rudkowski, Luke We Are Change. Trump freed a hostage, but Benny Shap, big mad. What a douche.
Is attempting to do is basically settle all outstanding business with the United States so as to then create separation between the United States and Israel in Iran negotiations. That is what is happening with the Houthis as well. It is not.
Yes, good. The state of Israel wants World War III. Fuck them. The state of Israel, not the Jews. The state of Israel.
Not a coincidence that as the Houthis are basically forswearing attacks on American shipping, and the United States is saying that the United States is no longer going to worry about the Houthis, essentially. Now, Hamas is now trying to do the same by releasing the sole living American hostage in the Gaza Strip, trying to basically say that the United States now has no part in that conflict. Well, okay, fine. I mean, if the United States has no part in that conflict, then Israel should just go and do what they need to do.
The Yummy Benny Shap. Israel is the precious. The precious, yes. Benny Shap wants the precious Israel, yes.
That seems to me a proper solution with regard to the Gaza Strip. Now, the ugliest part, and there is an ugly part to this, is that there are widespread rumors and now news reports that Edan Alexander is going to be flown to Qatar to meet with the Emir of Qatar. This is vile. That's vile. He should, of course, meet with President Trump. He can do so in America. He can do so in Israel. There are plenty of places that Edan Alexander and his family can express their gratitude to President Trump, as well they should. Going to Qatar to meet the Emir of Qatar. Qatar is a terror sponsor country. Qatar is the number one funder of Hamas. It is disgusting to have a hostage who was taken by a group funded by Qatar go to Qatar to thank the Emir of Qatar for his freedom. That's an absurdity on its face if it were to happen. It is wrong. It should not be facilitated by the United States. Qatar is the sponsor state of Hamas. In fact, if the Trump administration seriously wanted all hostages out of Gaza, they could do so tomorrow simply by telling the Emir of Qatar that the airbase in Qatar.
That's a cool fucking story, Benny Shap, but I don't really trust you. I'm not saying that Qatar does, is perfect or innocent. Nobody is. Oh, that's a good meme face right there. The face Benny Shap makes when he thinks about his next trip to Israel to kiss Bibi's ring. Yes. Why does he keep menacing us with his eyebrows? Somebody stop him. Oh, yes. That's the face. That's the face, guys. Every time he thinks about the state of Israel taking over the world. That's it.
Is going away, and that it'll move to the UAE, which the United States could do. That should have been the approach of the Biden administration on October 8th. They should have said all the hostages come out or the airbase goes away. That's how closely tied together Qatar and Hamas are. Well, Edan Alexander is now 21. Hamas captured him when he was 19 on October 7th, 2023, of course. Now, all of this has some wider ramifications with regard to negotiations in the Middle East. Again, Steve Witkoff continues to say ridiculous things publicly. So Steve Witkoff, who again, I do not think is a good negotiator. I do not think that Steve Witkoff has demonstrated his bona fides along any lines. So far, all of the hostage deals have essentially...
I've started disliking Benny Shap whenever he's talked shit about people not wanting to take the jibby jab, the fucking clot shot. When he insulted people for questioning the clot shot, because my wife's a doctor, you gotta trust me, my wife's a doctor. Does he take the shot? Just don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot. Take the shot. Take the shot. My wife's a doctor. Trust me. Fuck this guy. Oh, look at that. That's a grumpy face. There's Grumpy Ben. Look at Grumpy Ben. He's so grumpy. Oh, Grumpy Benny, you mad? Did somebody piss in your matzah? Huh? Poor Benny.
Been kind of mediocre in the sense that maximum pressure has not.
I like Michael Knowles. And I like Matt, whatever his fucking name is. Wow, I'm blanking on his name. I don't watch him. I like him sometimes. I like his clips, and I like... why am I blanking on his name? Dude with a massive beard. Wow. Michael Knowles and Matt. It'll come to me.
Been exerted on the bad guys. Yesterday, Witkoff said, we want to bring the hostages home, but Israel is not willing to end the war. Israel is prolonging it despite the fact that we don't see where else we can go and that an agreement must be reached. There's currently an opportunity window we hope Israel and all the mediators will take advantage of. We're putting pressure on all the mediators and doing everything we can to bring the hostages home. It is not Israel's unwillingness to end the war that is leading to hostages being taken. That's like blaming the police for the kidnappers not releasing the hostages. No.
Because they're the police. That's not a false equivalency at all, huh, Ben? Not a false equivalency at fucking all. Right, Benny Shap?
No, actually, that's up to the kidnappers. Hamas could end the war today. They could have ended the war October 6th. It never had to happen in the...
You know, or maybe Israel funding Hamas in its early fucking stages, maybe that could have kept them from going, but no. Israel had to go ahead and fund the fucking Hegelian dialectic, right? They had to go ahead and be on both sides of it, because when you have both sides getting funded, then you can have the constant struggle, right? You can have the consistent struggle, and you have the justification to keep fighting and keep bombing and keep destroying fucking lives. The good old Hegelian dialectic that Bibi Netanyahu was on fucking tape talking about, well, we've got to fund them both. We've got to fund both sides. We've got to. It has to perpetuate. We have to have more bloodshed and more suffering to sacrifice the Moloch, I suppose. I don't know what the fuck Bibi is like. I don't know what his inspiration is. All I can think of is based on what Bibi Netanyahu's policies have been and how he decides to, I don't know, let October 7th fucking happen so that they don't kick his ass out of office, because that's what's fucking coming. A lot of the Israelis are pissed off at Benjamin Netanyahu, but that fucking tyrant wants to continue to hold on to power. And we got to look at the people who are in London, right? You got people in London who are kind of influencing the way Israel is controlled as well. You can't forget about London. Just fucking saying. God, it's frustrating. No fucks given. That is an amazing sticker. Oh my God, I'm stealing that. Submitting to channel. Big deal. No, I've given you thought he was making it. All right. Back to it. All right.
First place. Meanwhile, all of this is part and parcel of broader negotiations happening over the Iranian nuclear program. According to the Wall Street Journal, the United States said it was encouraged by talks with Iran on Sunday after a meeting, but the two sides remain divided on key questions, including whether Tehran will be allowed to enrich its own uranium. Well, I mean, that is the key question. That is not one key question. That is the key question. The United States should have no interest in a deal with Iran where Iran continues to develop nuclear missiles. That is ridiculous. Anything that allows them the capacity to continue to develop nuclear materials, which can then be tied to their ballistic missile program, is insane. The United States should not be party to that. That is the JCPOA. That is the thing that Donald Trump labeled the worst deal in history. The United States should not be conceding points to the Iranian government. Again, Witkoff and Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi met for 3 hours in the Omani capital of Muscat in their fourth round of negotiations since April 12th. After the meeting, the U.S. cast the latest talks, mediated by Omani officials, as positive and said the diplomacy would continue in the near future. Iran's foreign ministry spokesman said talks were difficult but useful in better understanding the U.S. position. Now, again, Iran has another goal in these talks. If they can't get a bad deal from the Trump administration, and again, I have faith that President Trump is not going to cut JCPOA Part 2. It would be a rejection of his own legacy. If Iran has another goal, it is delay. And a delay for Iran is as good as a deal. In October, the JCPOA period ends. At that point, they can simply rush to a bomb. Now, they could just rush to a bomb right now as well. They can simply violate whatever is left of the JCPOA, and they could rush to a bomb. Herein lies the problem. Right now, there's a window of opportunity for anyone who wishes to end the Iranian nuclear program. that window of opportunity exists because Israel eviscerated a few months back Iran's entire air defense program. So the skies over Iran are totally clear right now. Not only that, but Iran still has not developed retaliatory capacity that would deter action by, say, Israel. If Iran is capable of standing the Israelis down by negotiating with the United States for prolonged periods of time, that is their win. Simply the negotiations being dragged out over a lengthy period of time is something the Iranians are going for pretty clearly. The two sides are still very far apart on the question of whether Iran gets to retain its nuclear enrichment program. Witkoff has sent mixed messages himself because, again, he has no expertise in any of these issues. He set out what he called clear U.S. red lines, that Iran can't have an enrichment program under a deal, nor should it have any centrifuges, which enrich uranium. And then Iran came back and said they would never accept any such terms. President Masoud Pezeshkian, who, again, is a stand-in for the mullahs, said Iran has never sought and will never seek nuclear weapons, but it will not back down from its peaceful nuclear rights. After Sunday's talk, Araki said Iran was open to adjusting the amount of enrichment it does and the purity of the material being produced for a limited period as a confidence-building measure.
All right, I've heard enough of Benny Shap. I'm done listening to him. But we do have an article to read about Edan Alexander. I just wanted to get that little bit of frustration out at the retard Ben Shapiro. Benny Shap. Yes. I stole that from Sydney Watson, by the way. But I don't like her, so I don't usually credit her. All right. Let's go ahead and pull this article up from actually CNN World. An article from the Commie News Network. Let's read the news. So, Israeli-American hostage Edan Alexander returns to Israel after Hamas release. By Abir Salman, Jeremy Diamond, Dana Carney, Oren Lieberman, Mohammed Al-Swali, and Lex Harvey. How many authors do you need for a 5-minute read? Oh my God. Why? Did someone write a paragraph each? And alternate? Is that what y'all did? Wow. All right. So, and this was a pretty cool moment, I will say. Seeing them reunite, it's pretty cool. Yeah. It's been 2 years since we saw him. That's good stuff. Glad he's not dead. That's so cool. That's cool. That's good vibes right there, y'all. That's damn good vibes. All right. So, Jerusalem, CNN. Edan Alexander, the last known living American hostage in Gaza, was released by Hamas and reunited with his family on Monday, ending an 18-month ordeal that began with the militant group's October 7th attack. Hamas announced Sunday night it had agreed to free Alexander, 21, after several days of talks with the United States, which bypassed Israel and formed part of an effort to reach a ceasefire and resume the flow of humanitarian aid into Gaza. Alexander, wearing a black Adidas t-shirt and a baseball cap, was photographed during his handover to the Red Cross, shortly before his convoy left Khan Yunis and headed toward Israel. He later arrived at an Israeli military base for a medical assessment and a long-awaited reunion with his family. Alexander had spoked. Oh my God. You had 5 motherfucking people work on this article, apparently, and you just fucking wrote had spoked. Oh my God. I just can't. I just can't. Alexander had spoken to his mother, Yael, on the phone after Hamas released him. Footage shared by the Israeli Defense Forces showed Steve Witkoff, the U.S. Middle East envoy, handing a phone to Yael. "You're out. My soul, you're out," she exclaimed in the emotional clip. "Everything's all right. You're fine. You're safe. You're home. Everything is good. You've got this. You're strong. We're meeting soon." In a living room in Tel Aviv, footage showed more of his relatives celebrating each update around his release, which comes just one day before President Donald Trump begins a Middle East tour, with stops planned in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. The Trump administration had circumvented Israel to seal the deal with Hamas to free Alexander, with Trump framing it as a step to put an end to this very brutal war and return all living hostages and remains to their loved ones. A New Jersey native, Alexander, was serving in the Israeli military near the Gaza border when he was abducted by Hamas on October 7th, 2023. Yale described her son as such an American kid, full of life, very funny, very friendly, in an interview with CNN in March. Following Alexander's release, 58 hostages are still being held in Gaza, with at least 20 believed to be alive. Among the deceased hostages are 4 American citizens, including husband and wife Gadi Hagi and Judy Weinstein Hage. I don't know how to pronounce that. As well as soldiers Itay Chen and Omer Nutra. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called Monday a very emotional moment, effusively praising Trump for securing Alexander's release and defending his ongoing campaign in Gaza. This was achieved thanks to our military pressure and the diplomatic pressure applied by President Trump. This is a winning combination, Netanyahu said. No, your bombings didn't fucking do this, dude. No, they didn't. This was all on Trump. Don't try to take credit, BB. I spoke with President Trump today. He told me I'm committed to Israel. I'm committed to continuing to work with you in close cooperation in order to achieve all of our objectives, releasing all the hostages and defeating Hamas, his statement continued. This goes together. They're combined with each other. He's really, really stressing this. This was a team effort thing, even though they weren't. It was not a team effort. He was not involved in this. A crowd gathered in Tel Aviv's Hostage Square to watch his release take place. They cheered as it became clear that Alexander was handed over to Israeli forces. Alexander's family described news of his impending release on Mother's Day as the greatest gift imaginable, and thanked Trump, Witkoff, and the U.S. administration for their tireless work to make this happen. Alexander's mother boarded a flight to Israel on Sunday night to meet her son after his release. A photo posted by U.S. Special Envoy for Hostage Response Adam Boehler showed Yale Alexander on a commercial flight with the envoy's team. Monumental news. Trump hailed the development as monumental news in a post on Truth Social where he described Alexander's release by Hamas as a step taken in good faith toward the United States and the efforts of the mediators, Qatar and Egypt, to put an end to this very brutal war and return all living hostages and remains to their loved ones. Hamas leader Mahmoud Mardawi told the Hamas-affiliated Al-Aqsa TV that the militant group, classified as a terrorist organization by the U.S. and Israel, directly negotiated with the U.S. to free Alexander in exchange for the resumption of humanitarian aid into Gaza. Witkoff told CNN that talks with Hamas were indirect. He is expected to meet Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu Monday afternoon. Wonder how that went. According to a source familiar with the matter. Alexander was last seen in a proof-of-life video in mid-April in which he appealed directly to Trump for help in securing his release. Just days later, Hamas claimed they had lost contact with a group of militants holding Alexander. Gaza is on the brink of famine as Israel's blockade of humanitarian aid and commercial goods stretches into its second month, depleting food warehouses and soup kitchens and sending the cost of basic goods skyrocketing. Israeli says it cut off the entry of humanitarian aid to pressure Hamas to release hostages. But international organizations say its actions violate international law. Agreed. With some accusing Israel of using starvation as a weapon of war. A war crime. Agreed. Israel has not said if it will resume humanitarian aid into Gaza. Netanyahu's office said in a statement on Monday that Israel had not committed to a ceasefire nor the release of any Palestinian prisoners, only to a safe corridor that will allow for Eden's release. In a post on social media Sunday night, Trump said he hoped the release would lead to the end of the brutal conflict. But the longtime Israeli prime minister has said that negotiations will take place under fire because he's a war whore and he wants World War III. Mahmoud Abbas, the president of the Palestinian Authority in Ramallah, said in a Monday statement, welcomed efforts to halt the war and issued rare praise for Trump. Abbas commended the U.S. President Donald Trump for his position in which the latter hopes to bring an end to the vicious conflict and the war that has been going on for 2 years. The statement from his office said, Alexander's parents had fought tirelessly for his release. Speaking to CNN in March, Yale said she prayed and hoped she would see her son again. I'm a mom. I just want to hold him again. And I want to say, Edan, you're safe. You're home. Well, there you go. That's a happy story. That's a dang happy story, y'all. I thought he was American. Didn't sound like it. Well, he's Israeli American. So he was living in New Jersey. Okay, shoot. Let's see. We are at 3 hours. I am probably going to be wrapping up here in a minute. Let's go ahead and we'll wait for the immigration in the UK topic for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and play the clip because this is kind of this is interesting. It's not directly politics. And Lady Dozer is coming to bed here shortly, and I've got an 8:30 meeting in the morning, so I need to get some sleep and actually go to sleep after this and not stay up for 2 hours and be an idiot like I usually do. It's tough. But anyways, well, no, he's also he's Israeli American, so they were speaking, I guess, Israeli. I don't know, Yiddish. I don't know what they speak, but oh gosh darn, I've been missing the fun over there on Pill.net. Israel's been crying about Iran being weeks away from nuclear destruction ability since the 80s. Who's worthy of trust? Yeah, and we got to remember the USS Liberty, right? 2,000 years. Just Jim. Thanks for joining this episode of the Dozer Den, y'all. Appreciate you. You going to sleep, Sterling? Maybe speaking. It could have been Hebrew. I don't know. But we are going to go ahead and cover that. But let's. We're going to play the clip from the Tucker Carlson interview for it's like a 6-minute clip. It's about cancer, fighting cancer and stuff like that. So I just thought it was really interesting. And since we're 3 hours in, yeah, we will get into it. But yeah, it's happy news. Happy news from the press conference that literally was history. That was such an important press conference, and that's why I felt like sharing and watching on the stream with you all, lovely, amazing Killdozers here in the Dozer Den. So let's go ahead and pull up this clip from the Tucker Carlson Show. Therapy Range. What's up, Paul? Guys, if you have not followed Therapy Range yet, go ahead and give him a follow. He does the splody stuff and some fun live streams as well. Putting out a little bit of variation in the content from what I saw the other day there, Paul. Good on you, bud. We're actually getting close to wrapping up the stream, and we got a raid from Cool Frog. Oh my, I might have to hang around a little bit longer if we got a raid. Thank you so much for that raid, sir. Absolutely fan-freaking-tastic.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there.
Good to see y'all. For those of you coming over from the Cool Frog raid, don't forget to smash that like button. Your stream shall not end. Apparently not. Need to find my second wind, y'all. We might have a little bit to talk about. We might. What's up, Americans First? Good to see you, man. All good. All good. All good, Neuro. We're going to be around for another 15 or 20 minutes probably, so... and then we will find somebody to raid after that. But yeah. We gosh, that was a good press conference that we covered though. And then that little topic there about the release of Edan Alexander, freaking great. You like the head? You like the head there? It's a good head, isn't it? Therapy Range. Look at how much hair's grown back already. Pretty amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and get the divider up. Chair stream for a moment. About 15 or 20 more minutes. Is there a can over there? Huh? I have a can over there. Bag of cans. Well, there's a bag of cans, yes. I need to take that to the recycling place. You know the charger was down there, right? Huh? Yeah. All right, the divider is up. Lady Dozer has her privacy. And the lights. And the sun shines on the bay. Ooh, I wanna be there in my city. Whoa. That's right. That's right. I just serenaded y'all. To those of you just joining from Cool Frog, you're welcome. Sup? Don't forget to smash that like button, y'all. Caress the like button. That's right. It's a damn good song. We have fun here. We have fun. Thanks so much for the raid, Cool Frog. Making me do more stream. I was starting to wrap up, kinda. But we're going to go on. We are going to persist here in the Dozer Den. Guys, if you didn't know, I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Central. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 3 to 4 news topics and a little bit of a palate cleanser at the end. And I usually include a Massey Minute portion of the show. Don't know if I'm going to do that tonight, but we may. We probably will. And the Saturday streams are chill streams. Have one topic that we discuss. Usually it's just a kind of a, not necessarily political, but sometimes it may be. And it's just more of a chit chat, hangout stream. And during the Saturday streams, I take music video requests for the Dozer Den DJ Hour. It's a good time. It's a good time. You can rock out with your cock out, jam out with your clam out. Those are the only two options to any intersex individuals in the audience. Pick a lane, damn it. Figure it out. Damn right. But we are going to go ahead and do one more topic before we wrap up. I was planning on at least doing this, so we are doing the cancer topic. So we are going to table the Keir Starmer UK switch up on immigration policy, and instead we are going to go ahead and talk a little bit about cancer, a different approach, a different perspective on cancer from Dr. Patrick. What is it? Patrick Soon-Shiong is probably how you pronounce that. Maybe. I don't know. To be honest with you. Gosh dang it. Why did it go all the way down there? Come on back up here. These bookmarks are all out of whack. What is going on? My goodness. I'm going to have to back out and come back in. They are all out, all over the place. I'm going to do a refresh. X, what are you doing? Just because I scrolled quickly doesn't mean you get everything out of line. All right? Come on now. Pretty much, yes. Give me a moment. Scrolling slowly, guys. If you scroll too fast, it doesn't like it, apparently. Silly. Downright silly. Did I not bookmark this? I know I bookmarked this. There it is. I found it. Found it. We got a good clip here from the Tucker Carlson Show, y'all. This is Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce his name.
What? Okay.
A new perspective, kind of on cancer, from what I gather here. What's up, Duck Fat? Good to see you. Yes, Duck Fat. We have very, very, very creative usernames in the Dozer Den. And we're going to be up for another probably 10 or 15 minutes. Then I will be wrapping it up, and I'll find somebody to raid as well. We'll keep a raid train going. But Camus posted this. A revolutionary approach to defeating cancer. Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong unveils a game-changing strategy. I'm not... Oh, damn. That's a lot of text. TLDR. We'll let that happen in the video, I suppose. I'm about to sneeze, though. There were some rough ones.
So let's just say I leave here and am diagnosed with, a serious life-threatening form of cancer. What would you recommend I do next?
So this is where you play chess and don't play checkers. This is where you play Go, where you say, okay, what is the cancer doing first? Well, guess what? The cancer is not stupid, so it's figured out a way to hide from these killer cells.
That was an interesting way to say that, because cancer is supposed to be just mutated cells, right? Cells that have been mutated and damaged, or damaged and the mutation occurs, and then it spreads. He just personified. He applied human characteristics to cancer. He applied motivation to cancer cells, right? It's interesting. Very, very interesting. Are you going to sleep, Cool Frog? Rest well, sir. Appreciate you, bud. Rising tides lift all ships, y'all.
So the first thing you have to do is you have to expose the receptors on the cancer so the killer cells could recognize that. So even in the presence of chemotherapy, you don't use chemotherapy to kill the tumor. You use a tiny dose of chemotherapy just to stress the patient, the cancer, and the cancer says, oh my God, something's coming at me, and it starts exposing itself. So you go from hide to expose. So you use the chemotherapy at a low dose called low metronomic dose to use it as what I call an immunomodulator. Importantly...
Wait, I was asking, you're describing cancer as almost like an autonomous entity that has a goal, a will to destroy the human body.
It does.
But that's, I mean, you're describing like
it's a machine.
But with intent and kind of clever behavior. It hides? Like what? You're describing like some foreign entity in the body that's trying to kill the body.
It is. It's like a virus.
Oh, that right there. It's like a virus, huh? That's interesting. That is very, very interesting.
But how can a tumor know to hide?
Because it has genomic sequencing in there that actually blocks the expression. So
it just sounds diabolical.
It is diabolical. That's why I spent 50 years trying to understand. It's not a human brain. It's biology and how biology can mutate. And actually, your body is a beautiful thing. I mean, it's an exquisite thing. So it has to have this thing called epigenetics. So it has the genomic sequencing that says, I'm not going to express this. So we can now stress that and block the blocker, and it now expresses something on its surface that our T cells can recognize. So that's the first step.
Smoke it out.
Smoke it out. But your body has mechanisms to smoke it out. It gets even more complicated. Your body has a
I don't know if I would click that link from the V11400. I would not click that link, y'all. I do not know you. I've never seen your face, so... Oh, shit, you rated cool... Oh, wait, no? What was I doing? I don't know what happened. What is going on Rumble? Am I back and forth between my stream and Cool Frog's stream? Did I raid? You rated Cool Frog. Neuro, what did you do? What did you do, Neuro? You jumped the shark. Or jumped the gun. You raided the Cool Frog. What happened? Much confusion. Much confusion present. Oh, God. That intense therapeutic clinic. Ooh, yes, indeed. The parasite thing might be legit. If ivermectin and fenbendazole are two things that are working on cancer, I mean, that kind of makes sense that it's kind of like a parasite within the body. I mean, it kind of acts like a virus, a parasitic virus, I guess, maybe. I don't know. One demerit for Neuro. What did you do?
Thing where you can induce what we call DAMPs, which is damage-associated molecular patterns, but forget that. It's a way of actually smoking it out, so now your T cells can recognize it. Okay, so now you've done step one. That's just step one.
So you do that low dose of chemotherapy to get it exposed.
That's one molecule.
Smoke it out.
So this is why I think the FDA needs to understand we're fighting a war where you need battlefield awareness all simultaneously, where you have to orchestrate your Marines, your Army, your Navy, your Air Force, all in the right place, so that you can use the tumor in your body to act as the weapon, as the vaccine.
Ooh.
Because a tumor has molecules that is foreign to the rest of your body, and if you educate your T cells to recognize those molecules that is foreign to the rest of your body, that T cell can remember. Now you have a memory T cell. So for the first time in 2024...
This man needs protection.
Or in our
cancer industry is huge.
Package insert, We have a molecule called the BioShield now. I'll call it the BioShield that can activate the natural killer cell, activate the killer T cell, and drive memory T cells. We now have bladder cancer patients who would have lost their bladder in complete remission for 9 years and still alive.
I don't know if it uses the mRNA stuff, but in the right applications and in the right people, like specific, case-specific applications, mRNA technology there's interesting research before it was being used to treat a fucking cold called COVID, whatever it is. There is some interesting research into mRNA technology with cancer. Although when used in a blanket approach, it's giving people cancer. So, double-edged sword there. I don't know if he's saying that it's going to be using mRNA technology or not, but very interesting stuff regardless. He's essentially talking about training the body to cure cancer itself. Like, damn.
And so the protocol is you administer low dose chemo to identify where the tumor is.
You smoke it out.
You smoke it out.
But at the same time, you need to have the natural killer cells and T cells ready. So you give them the BioShield that upregulates and stimulates your natural killer.
So what exactly is the BioShield? We might actually have to read through that big wall of text because if it breaks it down more specifically, I'm curious about that. Very curious.
Cells and T cells.
What about radiation? Does that play a role?
That'll kill your natural killer cells and T cells.
So no.
Unless, and this comes to unless, today the radiation is what they call 70 gigabits, huge doses. Unless you give a tiny little dose just to the tumor, nowhere else.
It's all good, Neuro. Technology is fun, isn't it?
To smoke it out. So you use radiation in a very different way called SBRT, a low dose.
To identify rather than destroy.
To expose rather than expose. So the algorithm is expose, from hide to expose. The next algorithm is activate and proliferate your NK cells.
And that's with the subcutaneous injection.
Correct. The next algorithm is to educate your T cells with a vaccine that you anticipate that it's going to be exposed. So you now have educated T cells ready. So you've got educated T cells, you got NK cells. And the next thing is to activate your macrophages so that they become killer macrophages. And the next step is to suppress the suppressors.
What if you educate the macrophages to become killer macrophages and then they go on a terror and then it ends up being a slaughter and it's not just the cancer cells that they're going after? What if it goes after, like, I'm just saying, I'm just devil's advocate here. The road to hell is paved with good intention. You got to be careful. But he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. I've been covering it been looking at it for half a century. So the guy might know what he's talking about.
You do that all simultaneously.
How much human suffering is involved in this? There's a lot in a conventional course of cancer therapy.
All as an outpatient. We've done hundreds of patients now.
Holy
so
shit.
you're not, so someone taking this course.
So he's actually using this treatment right now and it's working. Whoa.
Is not going to, is he going to lose his hair or throw up?
All as an outpatient. No. What's even more exciting.
Because that matters for cancer patients. I mean, it's hard to be a cancer patient. It's horrible.
Yeah. But we're now seeing patients now in complete remission. More importantly, I want to treat patients before they need surgery. So I can use the tumor itself in the body as the vaccine to educate the body and the T cells.
Okay.
All about that.
So he's talking about exposing it and then getting your T cells, your killer cells and the T cells to come in when you've exposed it. Just by exposing it, it trains your killer cells and the T cells to go after it. And that essentially makes the tumor like a vaccination. I think I'm picking up what he's putting down. Not 100% sure, though. I'm going to look into this man. Dr. Soon-Shiong. Patrick Soon-Shiong.
Tumor. What's even more exciting now, we can take blood from you, 1 pint, and extract the natural killer cell in the T cell and grow billions and store in cryopreservation, just like You do.
So, storing cryopreservation. It almost sounds a little bit like the antibodies. What were they called? The treatment for COVID. Something antibodies. I forgot the first part of that. Damn it. Getting a little bit sleepy, y'all. Started with an M, I think. It's an amazing loop. Oh, we're looping.
From cord blood. We now have the ability to grow these natural killer cells and give it to anybody. So I always said for the first time we could become the American Red Cross of cancer.
Oh, shit.
Our country.
Well, Red Cross is fucked, but...
And use these innovations as foreign policy.
Monoclonal. Thanks, Americans First. Appreciate you. And Lord Sterling. Monoclonal. And yeah, I knew it was an M. Appreciate y'all. Look at y'all. The Dozer Den coming in clutch to help me out when I forgot.
Well, okay, so let's just say
that is cool shit. Let me go ahead and look through this. This is a wall of text, but my goodness, I'm actually going to repost this on my X feed. Repost. That'll be at the top of my X feed. So let's go ahead and just read through this. Because, multiple exposures to information helps it stick, right? So, in a riveting discussion, Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong, pioneering surgeon and biotech innovator, laid out a bold chess-like strategy to outsmart cancer, an enemy he describes as diabolically clever, hiding from the body's immune defenses with sinister precision. Forget checkers. This is a war requiring the sophistication of Go, where every move counts. Here's how Dr. Soon-Shiong's cutting-edge approach is rewriting the rules of cancer treatment. Step 1. Smoke out the enemy. Cancer isn't just a clump of cells. It's a cunning adversary with genomic tricks that let it cloak itself from killer T cells. Dr. Soon-Shiong's protocol starts by exposing the cancer's hidden receptors. Instead of blasting the tumor with high-dose chemotherapy, he uses a low metronomic dose, a tiny amount that stresses the cancer, forcing it to reveal itself. It's like smoking it out, he explains. The cancer, sensing the danger, exposes its surface molecules, making it a target for the immune system. Okay. Step 2. Unleash the body's elite forces. With the tumor exposed, Dr. Soon-Shiong deploys the body's natural killer NK cells, natural killer cells, and T cells, supercharged by a breakthrough molecule called BioShield. So it's not an mRNA thing, it's a molecule. This activates NK cells, the natural killer cells, stimulates killer T cells, and, crucially, creates memory T cells that remember the cancer's signature. For the first time, we're seeing the bladder cancer patients in complete remission for 9 years, still alive. Holy shit. Without losing their bladders, he revealed. This isn't just treatment, it's a long-term defense system. Holy crap. That is awesome. Wow. That is so cool. Step 3. Orchestrates a multi-front assault. Cancer thrives by suppressing the immune system, but Dr. Soon-Shiong's approach is a battlefield symphony. He educates T cells with a tailored vaccine, activates killer macrophages, and suppresses the suppressors all simultaneously. Radiation only in tiny, precise doses, the SBRT, to expose, not destroy. High-dose radiation kills your NK and T cells, he warns. This is precision warfare, not carpet bombing. I really wish Israel would do the precision warfare and not carpet bombing. Just saying. This guy does it. You can too, Israel. Follow Dr. Soon-Shiong's lead. A future without suffering. Unlike traditional cancer treatments that leave patients nauseous, bald, and broken, Dr. Soon-Shiong's protocol is outpatient-based, minimizing suffering. We treated hundreds of patients this way, he shared. Even more revolutionary, he envisions treating patients before surgery, using the tumor itself as a vaccine to train the immune system. Imagine a world where cancer is stopped in its tracks without invasive procedures. Man, this would come in handy for folks. He talks about the American Red Cross of cancer, although if you know the history of the American Red Cross, they are influenced by nefarious forces. But the good idea of the American Red Cross, let's go with that. Dr. Soon-Shiong's vision goes beyond the individual patients. By extracting and cryopreserving NK and T cells from a single pint of blood, his team can grow billions of these immune warriors ready to be deployed for anyone. I would want to see more research on anyone. We could become the American Red Cross of cancer, he declared, hinting at a future where these innovations could even shape global health policy. Why this matters? It's not just a disease. It's a biological mastermind that demands respect and strategy. Dr. Soon-Shiong's approach, expose, activate, educate, and suppress, offers hope to millions facing a life-threatening diagnosis. His work proves that with the right tools, we can turn the body into its own greatest weapon. Wow. The call to action. The FDA must recognize this multi-pronged war requires battlefield awareness, not outdated single drug approvals. Patients deserve access to these life-saving protocols now. Well, gosh darn. That's some cool stuff right there, y'all. That's some damn cool stuff. I'm glad I found that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Got a little bit of information. Something to stimulate your mind. All right. Well, we are not going to do the last topic, the immigration topic. That one might be for tomorrow. So I'm going to note that in my handy dandy little notebook here off to the side for tomorrow. Who are we going to raid? We're going to send 50 of you amazing killdozers here in the Dozer Den to somebody else. Who we going to raid? Can I raid somebody right now? Or is the Cool Frog one still active? I don't think I can raid somebody right now. I don't know. I could try it. Indeed, Sterling. Indeed. I'm going to go watch Stargate after this. Raid Dom. Dom in T1 or whatever. I forgot his name. Put the link. Don't even see the raid out in this chat. Only the raid back from Frogs. Dominion After Dark. That's what I was thinking. Okay. Let me find it. You might have to throw the link out there if I can actually do the raid. But, oh shit, what happened, Duck Fat? Neighbors did chemo again, got diabetes, kidneys failed, and that's how she died. Yeah. If I get cancer, I'm not doing that radiation shit. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do other methods to get rid of it. I'm not going to destroy my body to maybe get rid of some cancer. Nope. Not happening. Nope. I may do a refresh here. Oh, we're up to 31 likes, not 2. Oh, 2 dislikes. Pussies. We are up to 883 followers, by the way. Thank you so much to the new follows. I can raid. Good. All right. And Dom After Dark. Put the Dominion After Dark. Put the link in chat. Just one into the void. Oh no. Because I don't think I can. I see him over on the side here. Maybe I do. I could do Nightwave Radio. I've never. Oh, the kill stream's going on. Huh. Should we raid the kill stream? No offense to Dominion After Dark, but I can't find Dominion After Dark. Yes, Cool Frog's stream is over. We are not raiding Cool Frog's overstream. Let's see if Nightwave Radio is still going. Nope. Doesn't look like Nightwave Radio is still going. That is over. If you want me to do Dom After Dark, then put the link in the chat. Average Joe Patriots Live. I think it's changed. I think you get more than one. Cool Frog, you said you were going to bed, sir. You dirty, rotten liar. That was a good topic, though, wasn't it? You don't know how to do that. Shit. Let me search Dominion After Dark. There it is. I found him. Dad. Live chat box. You got George Lopez comedy going on. All right. We'll go ahead and raid Dominion. I will. I'm not live. Okay. We will send you lovely folks over to Dominion After Dark here in a sec. Bam. I will confirm the raid in just a moment, you all. But first, we're going to play the Dozer Den theme song. I'm going to rock out for a minute here with you guys. And in a couple minutes, I'll confirm raid. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Dozer Den. It has been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully you guys learned something. Yeah. Got a little bit of the white pill. Because you know what? After last week's black pill mentality that I had, I needed this white pill. And I think we had a few white pills over the weekend, y'all. Or at least I've taken the black pill bottle and I've put it in the cabinet. And I'm looking forward to positive things. We have good developments. We must keep a level head. We must keep our heads on a swivel as well. And, yeah. Had a good show tonight, y'all. Appreciate you. Let's go ahead and play the Dozer Den theme song. We're going to rock it out for a minute.
Land of power, land of might, exceptional rage, endless fight, patriot bulldozer, leading the way, crushing all foes, making them pay.
night, everybody. Go over to Dominion After Dark or wherever you want to go. Thanks so much for joining this episode of the Dozer Den. I will be back tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Central. Y'all have yourselves a good one.